fall day. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Glieber, along with all those come from behind victories you engineered. I swear 90% of them were here in St. Louis.
Well, Frank, there's been some big games here. The teams are 3-3 in their last 6 games. Exciting games, last-minute overtimes. Today should be no different. It should be a good one.
Charlie's Angels is not a television show to a Dallas football fan. That's the Cowboys secondary. What a job they've done. Headed by the veteran Charlie Waters, who talks about the young men who play alongside of him.
Well, Steve Wilson is a great athlete, and he's got the right mental attitude to play it. He's more of an athlete than anything, and playing with instinct right now. Very aggressive. Believes he can make the play. Aaron Mitchell, very physical, and having to control him within the system is important for us. He's performing well. Nobody's getting beat deep on the corners. Dennis Thurman is a great athlete. He believes that he can get the ball. He understands the flight of the ball, which sounds kind of strange, but that's something for a pretty good positive thing for a younger player to understand the flight of the ball. And he believes he can make the big play.
And talking about old heads in the secondary, but about your buddy Roger Worley of the Cardinals.
Roger's a great one, an all-pro, and they were flat against Washington 2 weeks ago. They blitzed the heck out of Burt Jones. I asked Roger what the philosophy was today to beat Dallas.
Well, hopefully it'll be a little combination of both. We did a lot of blitzing against Baltimore, and it worked out for us and kept Burt Jones off balance all day, and that's what we had to do. We got a lot of sacks, and that defensive line and linebackers really played well, and that, of course, that makes the defensive back's job a lot easier. Hopefully we'll be able to put pressure on White today and go with somewhat the same game plan that we did last week.
The Cowboys and the St. Louis Cardinals, when they get together, no matter where it is, it's bound to be a great football game. We're ready now for the opening kickoff, so let's go down to the field. St. Louis getting ready to kick off. Neil O'Donohue is their kicker. And the deep man for the Dallas Cowboys is the rookie, James Jones, who has been nothing short of spectacular. Number 23. Jones, a third-round draft choice, fields it at the 5, back to the 15, 20, 25. Across the 30, up to the 31. The fumble on the play. Let's see if it occurred after the whistle. Jones did fumble the ball, but it may have occurred after the whistle. And the Cowboy offense will put it in play 1st and 10. That was the case. So we're underway on a fine fall day. The Cowboys 6-2, second place in the NFC East, trailing the Philadelphia Eagles by 1. And the Cardinals are 3-5 and struggling, though, on the uptick after their big victory over the Baltimore Colts. 1st and 10, Dallas from the 31-yard line. Saldi in the slot off to the left side. Now Saldi starts in motion across the backfield. Danny White on the delay to Tony Dorsett, and he is wrapped behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 3 back to the 28-yard line. Cowboy offense, one of the tops in pro football, as always is the case. The running backs, Dorsett, hobbled with a rib injury, is wearing a flak jacket, and Robert Newhouse has his starting job back, beating out Ron Springs. Dallas starting wide receivers, all of them outstanding, and one of the best offensive lines in professional football. Andy Frederick is the new starter there, replacing Jim Cooper, who is out with a knee injury. The officials spot the ball at the 29-yard line, a loss of 2 in the play. It'll be 2nd down 12. There's the book on Danny White. Those figures so far are better than those compiled by Roger Staubach at a similar point last year. Dorsett taking the swing pass across the 30 up to the 34. So the Cowboys are looking at a 3rd down and 6 as Tim Carty made the stop. St. Louis plays the 3-man front. Rush Brown is making just his 2nd start at the nose tackle position. They rely heavily on a veteran crew of linebackers who you see here. And the Cardinals secondary has been shaken up by injuries. As a result, Lee Nelson started his first game ever at strong safety last week. And Ken Stone is also a new starter because of injuries. 3rd down, Dallas needs 6 for the 1st down. The ball is at the Cowboy 34-yard line. Opening moments of the ball game. Danny White. That's Saldi. That should be good for the 1st down. They're very close to it at the 42-yard line. It may be close enough for measurement.
On this 3rd down, Frank, St. Louis brings in another defensive lineman, so they've got the 4-man rush to put the pressure on the quarterback. Jay Saldi, number 87, is just running the turnout pattern. He looks for the hole, turns around, and he's in front of the linebackers. He knows where the 1st down is, and he gets it. He gets it by about a foot, and it's right right on the money. And Jay is, again, Salty's looking for that first down. He's got to get it, and it's an excellent play into that zone defense.
That's the #1 third down team in the NFL you're looking at, the Dallas Cowboys. They have a first down at their 42-yard line. Newhouse 44, Dorsett 33 in the backfield. Again, Salty in motion. The handoff, Dorsett. Tony Dorsett's longest game this year has been just 20 yards. He's really been bottled up and, of course, hampered by a rib injury he suffered against the Philadelphia Eagles a couple of weeks ago. He picked up 4. That'll set up a second down 6.
Steve Neal's number 53, the linebackers, they'll get a lot of work. When you have that 3-man rush, 3 down linemen, those linebackers are really a key to the success of the defense. Steve Neal's, of course, made the play that time, and they need to block the linebackers, Dallas does, to run the football. It's a guessing game with the linebackers and the offensive line of Dallas.
Second and 6. White's got him in the I formation. Dorsett taking the pitch, turns the corner, first down, and out of bounds at the Cardinal 45-yard line. You saw the figures on Dorsett a moment ago. It's been a very un-Tony Dorsett-like year, and it's rather amazing because he worked very hard, I know, in the offseason on the conditioning program.
Well, he's had some problems running the football this year. He needs to break some big ones to get that average up. The big thing about it, his average is down. He's got a 3.6 rushing average, and he's always been around 4.7, 4.6, 4.8, so that's a big drop-off for a running back to drop off a yard.
Packers in front of the Steelers. Stay tuned for further developments. You never can tell. You know, Steelers have now lost 3 in a row. First and 10, Cowboys at the 45 of St. Louis. Good protection for White. And again, he finds the tight end Salty down at the 38-yard line. Last week, the tight ends caught 8 passes between them. Why is the offense geared so much this year to the tight end?
Well, the tight end is an outlet-type receiver unless he's called on a particular route. You have the backs also are outlets. That time, the 2 cornerbacks for St. Louis came up, took away the wide receivers. Danny White wanted to throw a quick, probably a 7-yard sideline to the wide receivers. They were taken away, and he came back inside to the tight end. So it's just what the defense gives you, and the tight end is an excellent outlet when you're trying to throw to the wide receivers.
Second and 4. Pickup of 6 on that last play. Cowboys at the St. Louis 39. White looking downfield and is sacked. Danny White, who was sacked 5 times against San Diego, is ripped down behind the line of scrimmage by Eric Williams.
Eric Williams, number 55, who's a linebacker. And, of course, when he comes, someone's got to pick him up. And Herb Scott, number 68, got over there just a little bit late. Herb was uncovered. There was nobody over him. He looked to the right. And, of course, Williams came back underneath, had enough speed where he got by Herb Scott, who turned back to get him, and it was a little bit late. Also, the back tried to get over there, Tony Dorsett, but Eric Williams made the trap, and that's what they did against Baltimore. The linebackers made quite a few traps, especially Mark Arneson.
12 traps to St. Louis last week. 3rd and 10. Cowboys at the St. Louis 45 from the shotgun. White under pressure, steps up into the pocket. Preston Pearson drops the ball. They would have had the first down at the 33-yard line, but Pearson did not hold it.
Well, I'll tell you, that was an excellent throw. Danny stepped up. He had some pressure on the outside. He stepped up off to his left and got the ball out to Preston, who was turning out into the, again, he was turning to the open area. Number 59, Calvin Fabrone, was over there and really caused the incomplete pass. Preston had it, but he was knocked loose from the football.
Punting situation for the Cowboys on 4th and 10 from the St. Louis 45. White, who has averaged just over 40 yards a kick, and really got a workout. Last week he ran twice, you recall, from punt formation against San Diego. Picked up key first downs. This one will bounce on the fly at the goal line and into the end zone. Touchback.
Let me tell you that.
Very close.
That was as close as you want to get right there. That's a matter of inches. That was a fantastic punt. It spiraled all the way, and it probably went about 2 inches over that goal line, Frank.
Timeout. We'll be back at Busch Memorial Stadium in just a moment. The St. Louis Cardinals offense as they take over the ball for the first time. Wayne Morris, of course, is from Dallas, played his college ball at SMU. The veteran crew of wide receivers, with the exception of Doug Marsh, who is a rookie, and their second-round draft choice, and has worked out very well. And the Cardinals' patchwork offensive line, particularly, watch that left side. As Roger mentioned earlier, they've got to go against Randy White and Harvey Martin. Jim Hart at quarterback. And they They started off with Otis Anderson. Anderson trying to get outside, is run out of bounds near the 25-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the day. And the Cowboy defense, the familiar front four. John Dutton will spell Larry Cole some, I'm sure, during the course of the afternoon. At that left tackle position, the Cowboy middle linebacker is Bob Brunick, flanked by Mike Higman and D.D. Lewis. And the Dallas D-backs, Charlie's Angels. Waters is the quarterback. He's the traffic cop back there, along with the youngsters. 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. O.J. Anderson in motion, leaving Morris. He looks to Morris, goes to Anderson. Anderson has the first down, out across the 30, fumbles the football, out of bounds. Cardinals will retain possession at the 37-yard line. So Anderson starts where he left off against the Cowboys last year.
Here's Jim Hart. He's got 2 wide receivers to his right. He fakes the pitch over there and comes back with a quick screen. He's got the guards pulling out. He's got the left guard is Barney Cotton's out there. Collins is out there, and Otis makes a lot of it on his own. He's just a strong runner, and of course that's what St. Louis does not want to do, is turn the football over today. They've got to stay away from mistakes to beat Dallas.
12 yards on the play and a first down for the Cardinals at their 37. Anderson, of course, had 2 100-yard rushing days against the Cowboys last year, including the season opening game. Here's Hart back to throw it, lets it fly. He's got Mel Gray out of bounds at the 39 of the Cowboys. He was out there by his lonesome. Finally, Wilson came over there, and obviously some mix-up in the secondary.
Well, there was a mix-up. Hart did a good job. Gray was on that sidelines between the cornerback and the safety, and what Jim Hart did was he looked downfield and left. He made the running fake, which also held the safety from getting over there, and then he just threw it right in between them. He had the cornerback up, Steve Wilson, and Aaron Mitchell just got over there a little bit late.
So the Cardinals are rolling with a first down at the 39. That's the tight end, Doug Marsh, moving across the backfield from right to left and stationing himself. They go outside to Willard Harrell. We've got a flag on the play as Harrell is run out of bounds at the 40 at the 35-yard line, but a penalty marker back on the line of scrimmage. Started to say about Anderson, of course, he rushed for 193 yards against the Cowboys in the season opener last year, including a 76-yarder, the longest run from scrimmage ever against Dallas. And no rusher has ever rushed against the Cowboys for better than 100 yards more than twice in their career. So Anderson's out to do that. You saw the preliminary indication of offside there against the Cowboys, which will move it down to the 35 as the referee, Red Cashin, marks it off, and here's the call.
Encroachment, number 79 on the defense, still first down.
You saw Harrell in there. Anderson came to the sidelines.
Yeah, he's got a shoe problem. It's a mechanical and not a physical problem. Blew a tire, Frank.
Blew a tire.
That statistic is amazing. That goes all the way back to Jim Brown as far as running backs not gaining more than 100 yards more than twice in a career.
And there have only been 3 backs that have gained 100 yards twice against the Cowboys. No one has ever done it 3 times, not even Brown. On the delay to Wayne Morris. Morris to the 25, down to the 20. Morris all the way to the 10-yard line. First down, St. Louis. Wayne Morris, the former SMU running back, who still holds a bunch of the pony running records.
Well, that was a delay, Frank. It was like a draw, set up as a delay. Steve Morris is back there. He doesn't come forward immediately, so it's a little bit of delay. He lets things open up. He can pick his hole better, and there's excellent blocking. He also goes around Dennis Thurman, number 32, shows some speed, gets knocked. He still carries Dennis with him for another 2 yards. It's an excellent run and excellent blocking by the Cardinal offensive line.
24 yards on the play, a first down for the Cardinals at the Cowboy 10-yard line. Willard Harrell trying to get outside, gets down to the 6, the 5, we get a flag. Penalty marker down as he is dropped at the 5-yard line.
There's another fumble in there, but it looks like the Cardinals picked up the football.
Last penalty was an offside against the Cowboys. This is a face mask against Dallas.
Well, they'll take this one. That'll give them 5 yards and
automatic first down.
Watch Harrell. He starts inside right there, gives that dip inside, and now he's got a chance to get outside. He's got the linebackers coming in, the cornerback, Steve Wilson, gets out there, but Wayne Morris does a good there for the ball. I thought he fumbled the football, but he got back on top of it. Either he or Morris got back on top of it. But the penalty was a save anyway.
A little hard to see the face mask call there, but it is an automatic first down for the Cardinals at the Cowboy 3-yard line. Jim Hart, 15 years in the National Football League, and release completed pass. He moves up closer to the top of the all-time greats. Impressive opening drive for St. Louis. This started back at the 20.
Got the old T formation in there, which is a Cardinal short yardage or goal line formation.
Full house backfield. 3 of them back there. Anderson gets a yard to the 2. Not much there in the way of a hole. Generally speaking, how would you say you stop this Cardinal offense?
Well, of course, you've got to put pressure on Jim Hart when he throws the football. That's what Washington did 2 weeks ago, and of course last week the Cardinals got better protection. Hart hit Tilley and Gray for big plays, and if you give Jim Hart the protection, he's an excellent quarterback. He's a veteran, he's tested, he's true, and you give him some time, he'll throw the football. So I think pressure on him, like any other quarterback, is the key.
2nd and goal from the 2. Willard Harrell, maybe the 1. Heather over there to make the stop.
Dallas has really been tough on short yardage situations and goal line. They've got their goal line defense in there. They bring in Mother Huther. Bruce Huther.
Mother Huther.
That's the nickname the players have for him. Bruce is a hitter. He's an extra linebacker in there. They bring up people close to line of scrimmage. Of course, the Cardinals have 2 tight ends in there, and it's just brute force against brute force. And Dallas has been very successful around the goal line.
3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Wayne Morris is over for the touchdown.
Well, they went over the left side of that Cardinal line. The questionable part, George Collins, number 66, is happy, and Barney Cotton's over there also. So they did a good job. They pushed the Dallas defense back, and that's all you need is just a little bit of daylight when you're near that goal line. There's the blocks. A nice block on number 34, of course, on Aaron Mitchell, and Charlie Waters is over there a little bit late, but there's just a crack in there, and it was good for the touchdown.
Neil O'Donohue has come on to try the extra point. Worley is the holder. It's good. An impressive 80-yard touchdown drive by the St. Louis Cardinals on their very first possession of the afternoon, and they lead the Cowboys 7-0. There's the book on the Cardinal touchdown drive. Took him just 8 plays to go 80 yards, looking very crisp. And this is not the same football team we saw 2 weeks ago in Washington.
That offensive line had some good sustained blocks where they were keeping the linemen, the defensive line off, giving the running backs chance to run to daylight. And that's a key today. The offensive line of the Cardinals, other than Deerdorf, is Young and Brahaney, the center. And if they can sustain their blocks, and you give people like Morris and Anderson some time to maneuver, look for daylight, run to daylight, and it'll be a different game. And they did not do that in Washington a few weeks ago.
Might the Cowboys be a little flat after that San Diego game?
Well, Dallas has come on strong as the game has progressed. In San Diego, they did the same thing. So it's early, and Dallas has got too many weapons to be out of the game at any time.
It's another impressive statistic. Cowboys been a very strong first quarter team. 7:46 remaining in the opening period. This is the Cowboys' 2nd offensive possession of the day. First one was stopped when Preston Pearson dropped the pass at the Cardinal 35. Danny White back to throw it. Looking for Tony Hill. Now he's looking at Pearson. Finally gets rid of the ball and overthrows Pearson. At one point he had Pearson open and he had Hill open, but the pressure rattled him a lot.
I tell you, he did a good job. Tim Kearney stepped in front of Pearson when he looked like he was open, and there was some confusion there. White wanted to throw it and pulled it back. Now, what he didn't want to do was throw that ball across the field. He saw Pearson going across the field, and that's a very dangerous pass. Anytime you throw it across the field, more times than not, you're going to run into trouble.
I think he learned that last week, didn't he, against San Diego?
Well, yes, he did. It was for a touchdown.
That's right.
That's how much I know. I used to throw it across the field all the time anyway, but I was told you shouldn't do it.
I see.
So say that you shouldn't do it.
No, quarterbacks never listen. Tony Dorsett.
Great play.
Clock behind the line of scrimmage by Lee Nelson, the strong safety, number 38.
Well, Lee Nelson, number 38. It's just a sweep to Dorsett right here. He's got Tom Rafferty, number 64, the guard pulling. He doesn't get out, Herb Scott, but the force man is Lee Nelson, the strong safety. His job is to stop that end run. He had a great game. He played strong safety the first time last week against Baltimore. He had a great game. He stepped in there for Roy Green, and he's taken up where he left off last week. He made the play. The guard did not get around to get the strong safety, the force man.
Cardinals are minus both their starting safeties, Ken Green and Roy Green. Shotgun, 3rd and 15. Cowboys back at their 15-yard line. White with good protection sends it out to the sideline. Incomplete. Pass a little bit short of the intended receiver, Drew Pearson. And Dallas will be forced to punt. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited. I'll tell you one thing, Cardinals got this crowd fired up now.
Well, I had an old baseball coach that used to tell me, let the crowd sleep, so you don't want to get them fired up, and especially in St. Louis. Ideally, you like to start out with the first score for the home team.
Danny White punting from his goal line. Beautiful hanging kick. Mark Bell back to his 35, 40. Bell heading for the far sidelines to the 45 and run out of bounds near midfield in front of the Cowboy bench. But once again, St. Louis comes up with excellent field position. They'll spot it at the St. Louis 49 when we come back to play in just a moment. Tom Landry looking a little more concerned than usual in front of the Cowboy bench as the Cowboys finding out they're having a battle on their hands. Fired up and the St. Louis Cardinals. 1st and 10, Cardinals at their 49-yard line.
How could you tell that Tom looked more concerned than usual, Frank?
I know him.
He's trying to split the...
Bell makes the catch but was out of bounds. He came down with at least 1 foot out of bounds at the 36-yard line. He did split him.
That was an excellent play, Dennis Thurman. He was trying to split that zone again. When I say that, the cornerback comes up. Steve Wilson plays short. Tilley goes right in between he and the man that's deep is Dennis Thurman, and Hart tries to get the ball in there before the safety gets over. And, of course, Thurman did his job here, and he stripped Tilley from the football. See, Hart's throwing it right in between Steve Wilson, number 45, who's up in your picture right there, and then Dennis Thurman, number 32. Of course,
1 foot in.
It was actually Mark Bell. I was looking at Tilley, number 83. It was Mark Bell, number 81, who was the intended receiver.
Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Mark Bell shaken up on that last play. Went to the bench under his own power. It is 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals at their 49-yard line. Wayne Morris in motion. Long count play this time. And Hart is sacked back at the 42-yard line. Boy, you can't wait very long, can you?
No. That was Larry Cole coming in from the left side. Larry's number 63, and Hart went to throw the ball here. There was good pass defense, and just as he pulled it back, Cole, number 63, got in, and Ed Jones, number 72, finished him off.
Loss of 5 in the play, and it is 3rd down and 15. Other scores. That's a very big game in Buffalo. Atlanta tied for first place in the NFC Western Division, and the Packers and Pittsburgh are now at halftime. Pittsburgh would lose its 4th straight if they lose that ball game. Kansas City coming on very strong after their 5th straight victory. Our score 7-0 St. Louis. Cardinals 3rd and 15 from their 45. Otis Anderson.
Oh, there's a good play right there.
Down to the 47-yard line in Dallas end of the field. Not nearly enough, however, for the first down.
It was a good time. There was a blitz that time, and of course Hart would have had a difficult time getting that ball off, and the pressure came in. Maybe one block downfield, and Otis would have broken. That was a good call, though. It didn't get the first down, but it got him back into good position to punt and create some positive field position for the defense.
Larry Swider is the St. Louis punter. Punted with the Detroit Lions last year. Was picked up on waivers just before the start of the season. James Jones is deep, standing back in the 10-yard line. And he can make things happen. He's up among the leaders in both punt returns and kickoff returns.
Excellent punt.
Way over his head, on the fly, into and out of the end zone. Touchback, and the Cowboys will take over the football at their 20-yard line. 1st and 10 with 5 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the opening period. Cardinals scoring on Wayne Moore's short touchdown plunge after a long 80-yard drive on their very first possession of the afternoon. Swider's punt covered 47 yards. So it's 1st and 10 Dallas. This is the first of 2 meetings between these two clubs in 3 weeks. Cardinals will come to Texas Stadium to visit the Cowboys 2 weeks from today. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Newhouse, who, as we mentioned, got his job back this week. Of course, he's always run well against St. Louis, hasn't he?
He's had big days against St. Louis. Against that 3-man rush, he's the type of runner that can bounce off of people and run inside. And with a 3-man defensive line, a fullback is a key runner in your attack. And Robert has had great days against St. Louis.
Had 108 yards last year in the season opener. Fractured a bone in his leg and continued to play after that.
That was his first rush today, I believe, Frank.
That's right. 2nd and 9. Pickup of a yard. Cowboys from the 21. Dorsett.
Well, I'll tell you that St. Louis defense is coming tough. That's Rush Brown, big number 69. Rush, Rush didn't even play high school football. He went to played in the Air Force League over in Europe, came back and played at Ball State, and now he's a factor in this young defensive line of St. Louis.
Though he's a rookie, he's 26. Not many guys come into the league at that age.
No, there's only a few.
There's one came in at 27, as I recall.
I remember him.
Or number 12 in the blue. 3rd and 9. Shotgun. Again, pretty good rush, and Danny White gets the pass away, but I believe it's not enough for the first down.
It's close.
Preston Pearson made the grab and then was shoved back. It depends where they spot it. And if they put it right down at the 30, that's all the Cowboys need.
I'd say that's going to be about an inch short.
That's about it.
It's an inch short.
I know your eyes are good, but how can they be that good? Cowboys will have to punt it. Did my eyes deceive me, or did I see you on the sidelines before the game throwing warm-up passes to Drew Pearson?
Well, I threw a few, and there's nobody else out there. I was throwing a few.
Have you still got it?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Maybe we have some highlights of that. We can judge for ourselves.
Danny White's punt, again, driving fell.
That is an excellent punt.
Back to the 20, 25, and caught at the 28-yard line. Mark Bell. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line as St. Louis takes over the football.
Big Bill Rowe, the Cowboys' number 3 draft choice, which was their drafted in the 3rd round, and their number 1 draft choice, made that tackle.
Talk about stopping this Cardinal offense.
Well, it's tough. You've got to, in fact, I talked to my daughter Amy this morning about it, and she said the number 1 problem was the bomb to Mel Gray. Mel Gray has caught one big one, and he's hurt Dallas in the past.
You have a daughter, Amy, do you not?
I do.
Otis Anderson, all avenues are closed. No open doors, and yet he makes a couple of yards out of it to the 32.
A lot of pressure over there. Bob Burning was over there, and Otis was trying to juke his way to some daylight. There just wasn't any, and he still picked up a couple yards.
Tampa Bay jumping on the Giants at the end of the first half. Roger and I will be at the Meadowlands next Sunday afternoon as the Cowboys travel to Jersey to take on the Giants, one of the major disappointments this year. 2nd down, call it 7 for the first down. St. Louis from its 31-yard line. What did Amy say about Otis Anderson?
Well, I tell you, Otis is something special. He's having a little bit of trouble right now. He slipped on that play, but he's an excellent receiver, and of course he's their big gun and running the football. The last 2 years he's just been a big difference in this Cardinal offense. It's an asset for Jim Hart. Of course, now in this third down situation, this is where the protection is important, because Hart can pick up these third downs if the offensive line can keep Dallas's rush off of him.
3rd down and 7. Cardinals from their 32-yard line. 1 minute 15 seconds left in the opening period. Dallas trailing 7-0. Blitz.
The blitz.
Down goes Hart. That's Dexter Clinkscales, number 47, nickel back in the Cowboy defense, who came through from the right side.
Yeah, they brought Tony Dickerson also, and the lineman tried to block on Tony right there, number 51, and Dexter. They couldn't block both of them, and he came around the outside and did the job.
4th and 14.
That's the strategy. They've got to get to Hart, and they feel they can do it with a young offensive line. Will make a mistake on a blitz. They might not pick up someone. They might block 2 men on one, and you look for a mistake from a young offensive line and to get to the quarterback, and that's the strategy today, is to get to Hart.
A lot of dancing around by the Cowboy defensive line. Swider gets the kick away. James Jones is deep, high floater, takes it at the 22, 25, 30. Spun around at the 34-yard line. Good hit. Very strong hit by Randy Love, number 40, off the Cardinals specialty team. We've got 40 seconds left to play in the opening period as the Cowboys once again take command of the football, trailing by a score of 7-0. Big difference in this Cowboy team this year defensively. Turnovers, they are plus 13 this year. In fact, right now they have recovered 2 more fumbles and intercepted 4 more passes than they had all of last season. And if that's not a big statistic, then I don't know what is. Cowboy running game has not gone at all thus far. And the passing game has fared only slightly better. Tony Hill up to the 40, 45, and Hill is a first down at the 47-yard line.
White faked the inside trap to hold the linebackers, get the ball out to Tony Hill, and Tony Hill only had Carl Allen was man-to-man with him. Carl had no help from the linebackers. Rafferty was pulling out there. Frederick was pulling out, and the quick screen worked just the way it's drawn up.
Dallas still has to get that running game working. Newhouse and Dorsett have not produced thus far this afternoon. We're in the final minute of play in the opening period. Cowboys needing a victory to stay within 1 game of the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East. Here's Dorsett driving forward to almost midfield for a pickup of 4 in the play. It'll be 2nd down 6.
I tell you, Mark Arness, number 57, is a tough cookie. He had 3 traps on Burt Jones, and he just comes across and really wrecks damage in the backfield when he's a linebacker blitzing. And Lee Nelson is limping off the field. That could really hurt St. Louis. He's played such a fine, strong safety the last week, and he's made a couple plays today, and he's hurt over there on the sidelines.
So that'll create some shuffling in that Cardinal secondary. Let's see if White is able to take advantage of it. 2nd and 6. Ball is at the 50. White sets up the screen. Dorsett, 50, 45, down to the 41-yard line. That's another Dallas first down. Tim Carney, number 56, makes the stop for St. Louis. There's the gun, signifying the end of the first period at Busch Memorial Stadium in St. Louis, with the Cardinals leading the Cowboys 7-0.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford Trucks. The trucks built Ford tough and built for fuel economy. And by Light Beer. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
With Roger Staubach, this is Frank Glieber at Busch Memorial Stadium in St. Louis as the shadows begin to lengthen on this gorgeous fall day. Temperatures in the high 60s. And the Cowboys are driving. They have a first down at the St. Louis 41. In the first quarter, White 6 out of 9 for 46 yards. But the rushing game was almost completely shut down. Jay Saldi, the tight end, in motion. Inside handoff to Robert Newhouse. And Newhouse spins forward to the 37-yard line. That's Newhouse's second carry of the afternoon. He was 1 carry for 1 yard in the first period. Dorsett carried 6 times and picked up only 10 yards rushing in the first quarter.
They got Lee Nelson back in. He went over and got his ankle taped. He's back in there, and he made the hit on Newhouse that time.
Cowboys, of course, can score points in a big hurry, as they proved last Sunday night against San Diego. They outscored the Chargers 35-0 over a 23-minute period of playing time, and did the same thing to San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. 2nd and 6 from the 37 of St. Louis. Pitch to Dorsett. And he is stopped at about the line of scrimmage. Carl Allen, number 27, moving up from the secondary to make the hit on Tony Dorsett.
Yeah, they had Eric Williams over there, number 55, the linebacker. And that's one of the toughest things to do against that 3-man rush, is to get outside. Those linebackers have got to be active, and you've got to keep them honest with some reverses and some counters. And to get outside against that 3-man rush is difficult. If you can do it, of course, it sets up everything to the inside. So Dallas is probing a little bit, going inside with Newhouse, trying to get outside with Dorsett, and have not had a lot of luck throwing or running the football.
3rd down and 6, passing situation. Cowboys at the 36-yard line of the Cardinals. Preston Pearson and company are all in there. And the Cowboys operate from the shotgun. White, under pressure, delivers. That's enough for the first down as Drew Pearson makes the catch at the 28-yard line. I don't think that was the intended pattern, was it?
Well, Drew was on a deep comeback route. White, with his ability now, he's got great maneuverability. Danny's got fine agility. He gets a little pressure from Russ Brown, number 69, but Preston pushes him aside. He steps to the left, and Drew now is on a deep comeback route. He's downfield about 20 yards. He sees White. He comes back. He has enough for the first down, and it's about an 8 or 9 yard gain, but due to the pressure on White, it still is good enough for the first down.
Ball is at the 27-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1st and 10. Dorsett and Newhouse in the backfield behind Danny White. Tony Dorsett tripped up at the line of scrimmage, falls forward to the 25.
Yeah, Tim Carney, number 56, really cut his feet from out from under him. Tony Dorsett had a little running room right here until Carney, number 56. If we can see the good block and Rush Brown right there, he's blocked to the side, and here's Carney sneaking, but he got his arm under him and tripped him up before Stone came over, number 23.
Carney is a one-time Cowboy. He was originally a number 4 draft pick of the Cowboys several years back. Been with several other teams before winding up in St. Louis. 2nd down, 9. Officials have it marked at the St. Louis 26. Again, White back to throw. The rush is on. Tony Hill at the 5, and Hill is down to the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, Dallas.
Well, Tony, they had Billy Joe Dupree, went straight through the middle, took the safeties out of there, had the Tony Hill coming in the open hole when Dupree took the safeties away. We can't see Dupree, but he's running right through the middle, taking everybody out, and there's Tony Hill coming underneath, and there's Billy Joe. He's got the safety back there, and Tony Hill makes an excellent play over the middle.
There just are so many weapons that the Cowboys throw at you. You don't know who to defend first. It's tough to defend them all at the same time. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Dorsett, nothing at the line of scrimmage. Boy, the Cardinal defense is playing the rush here. You figure Dallas almost will have to go to the air.
That's right. The fans are booing a little bit. Tony Dorsett, number 33 there, had a little hitch in his stance, and the fans wanted a penalty called there. The referee saw different. Yeah, they're trying it. That's an inside trap down around the goal line. They got a goal line defense in, and they're still not getting anywhere.
Think they'll throw here?
I would think this would be a good time for a play action pass. Something they're not running the ball well.
2nd and goal.
It's still a running situation though.
Dorsett, no place to go, and he's at the 5, and scores! Unbelievable! Tony Dorsett had the front door completely blocked, and you You saw it. Look at it again.
That's a great play right there. He's like a dancer right here. He's pretty well stopped. He goes inside, breaks back, and the speed. The only reason he got away with that was his speed. He's got marvelous speed. He can accelerate when he's stopped, and of course he got around everybody. Great play, individual effort by Dorsett. There he goes. He's coming inside, and now when most runners stop right here, they just don't have the speed to get back out that quick, and Dorsett does, and it makes a difference between a 1-yard loss and a touchdown.
One of the finest 4-yard touchdown runs you'll ever see. Septien with the extra point try, which would not the score. He does.
Oh, the big play on that 3rd and 6. Drew Pearson coming back. Danny White scrambling over there. Got him in position to score that touchdown.
Glieber with Roger Staubach back in St. Louis with 10 minutes and 19 seconds left to play in the first half of what is now a tie football game. That drive by the Cowboys, 65 yards, took them 10 plays. And utilizing 5 minutes and 21 seconds on the clock, here's Septien's kickoff.
Slow. That's the kind you like to run back.
Green, 15, 20, 25, across the 30 and up to the 35-yard line. Roy Green, who last year in Dallas ran a kickoff back 106 yards against the Cowboys, tying an NFL record for long distance.
The problem there was that kick was so low, and watch this wall. It now has a chance to form. The Dallas people aren't down there fast enough, so you get your blocking is better. You have better timing on your blocking, and of course Green has got more running room, and the ball's that low, and it gets to you that quickly.
Cardinals 1st and 10 at their 37-yard line. Both wide receivers are off to the left side. Mel Gray and then Tilley in the slot inside of it. Hart wants to throw the bomb but couldn't get it away. It was sacked back at the 32-yard line by Harvey Martin, number 79. He had 2 men deep downfield, but for some reason elected not to throw the football. Obviously, they were both covered. Mark Bell was down there, and so was Tilley. And Tilley slowly returning to the huddle. Hart has thrown it only 3 times today. 2 for 3 for 36 yards.
Of course, St. Louis is putting 3 wide receivers in there, Frank. They've got 2. They got Tilley and Gray to one side, and then they bring in Mark Bell to the other side. That time, Dennis Thurman was on him man-to-man and took him all the way down the field. Hart just had nowhere to throw the ball.
Wayne Morris and Otis Anderson, the running backs, on 2nd and 15 from the 30-yard line. Fumble by Anderson, and Anderson manages to collect it at the 26-yard line. No turnovers in this football game so far. But that'll set up a 3rd and close to 20 needed for the first.
Here's Hart. This is a draw. He's looking downfield. He puts the ball in there, and it's just it looked like it was in there, right? Otis just looked downfield and didn't pay attention to the football, and it dropped out, but he got it back.
So the Cardinals are looking at a 3rd down and 20. Ball is back at their 27-yard line. Score is tied at 7 apiece. Hart setting up strong, goes with the short toss, not enough for the first down. As Tilley is knocked out of bounds at the 33.
Well, Dallas is mixing up the blitz and the regular rush, but with Dallas's front 4, they still put pressure on you. Hart didn't have a lot of time, and number 63 was in there again. Larry Cole is the real solid veteran on the Dallas defensive line. He's not the guy that gets all the credit. He's still in there. He makes some plays. He's a good pass rusher. They're keeping him in on passing situations. He's starting. He's alternating with Dutton now and then, but Larry's the starter, and he's really the unsung hero of that defensive line.
Good rush on Swider against the kick away, driving James Jones back to the 15. Jones to the 20. And upended at the 26-yard line. He does run hard. So the Cowboys regain possession of the football, 1st and 10 at their 26. 8 minutes, 8 seconds left to play in the first half. Welcome back to St. Louis. The head man of the St. Louis Cardinals in his first year on the job. And a very, very popular coach, despite the fact that they're 3 and 5. Players love Jim Hannafin. 1st and 10 Cowboys at their 25. Dorsett looking for some place to go. Lest you think this Cardinal rush defense is a fluke, St. Louis held Baltimore to 48 yards on the ground last week.
This is that I formation with Dorsett behind Newhouse. Dorsett really cuts back all the way across the other way. Now, he doesn't have much over there. The line would really have to sustain their blocks to go that far, to go back over to that side. And, of course, Lee Nelson is back over there again, and he's Steve Neal's number 53. So Dorsett is looking for daylight. He just can't find any right now.
Dorsett, 11 carries, 10 yards. Loss of 3 on that play. 2nd and 13, delayed to Newhouse, and he is stacked up for another loss.
Watch that Cardinal defense. Those guys are... There's Kearney, 56, Williams, 55, and this is kind of a delay to Newhouse again. White's back, looking downfield. It's a draw. The line Fitzgerald sets up, but again, the big play, number 78, is Ron Jankowski, makes it difficult for Newhouse. Then the linebackers clean up on it.
3rd and 15. You're Danny White now. You got to be wondering what's happened to your running game.
Well, Mays and Greer are coming in now for the pass rush, and St. Louis is changing up a great deal on 3rd down situations. This is where they have to stop Dallas. Dallas is the best in the league here, and if you're going to win the football game and stop Dallas, you've got to stop them in 3rd down.
3rd and 15 from the 20. Low snap. Sideline throw, no good.
Well, Roger Worley was over there, and Allen was over there.
Drew Pearson, the intended receiver, in front of the Cardinal bench. He was double teamed. And the Cowboys will have to punt it.
Like Dallas is trying to throw the deep sideline passes, bring the receivers back, and of course that time Worley had good position. He also had help from Allen that time.
Look at Danny White's punting average so far. That pointer's on the spectacular.
Danny says he likes to punt on 4th down because if he misses that 3rd down, he's mad at himself, and he just takes it out on the football.
He's done it today. Score tied at 7. Mark Bell is the deep man. That's another great kick. Bell lets it go out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Now, he kicked that thing from in the neighborhood of his own 10. So you're looking at about, what, 65, 70 yards in the air?
Well, in the air. That's right. Both punters have punted the heck out of the ball.
Six minutes, 28 seconds left to play in the first half. Score tied at 7. And if you think the Cardinals are doing a great job stopping the rush, Cowboys haven't done badly either. Anderson has been held to 16 yards in 4 carries. By the way, that last punt by White, officially 55 yards is what he gets credit for, although it did sail 65 in the air. 1st and 10 Cardinals at their 24-yard line. Mark Bell in motion. Cardinals have 3 wide receivers in there, and they give it to Anderson. Big guy takes it out across the 30-yard line out to the 32. That's 7, maybe 8 yards.
He left a few in his wake that time. Big John Dutton's in here now, number 78, and Anderson comes in, gets around Jones. John Dutton kind of missed a tackle right here. He got away from him. Bruning came over late, and it was just a sheer physical effort on Anderson, and Mike Hegman, number 58, really is the one that finally knocked him over.
By the way, the preceding announcement, not Rogers, but the announcement prior to that play was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. On 2nd and 2, Wayne Morris up the middle, close for the first down at the 33, maybe 34. Randy White, number 54, wrapped him up for the Cowboys. Pittsburgh has closed the gap on the Green Bay Packers in the 3rd period, but Green Bay still leads it by 2. Randy White right now is playing maybe the best tackle of his career, and most will tell you, as Jim Hannafin did the Dallas media this week, that Randy White is the best defensive lineman in pro football this year.
Well, I tell you, he's fantastic. He played a game against Philadelphia that has to go down the annals of Dallas history as far as an individual effort. You know, on 1st down, St. Louis is using these 3 wide receivers. They've got Bell in there now, and they've got Gray and Tilley. They've got Otis Anderson as the only running back, of course, in the game with the tight end. So it's a pretty powerful offense to defense. The way you do it is pressure the quarterback, which they did.
Obviously, on that play, Hart was trying to get it downfield to the tight end, Doug Marsh.
Here's Hart's back, and he's faking to Anderson, but he's looking downfield quickly to Marsh. Marsh is covered. Charlie Waters has got him back there, and the pressure, he can't wait much longer, and of course the ball's thrown, and Hart was lucky to get rid of it.
2nd and 10. Cardinals at their 35.
it looked immediately like Marsh was going to be open. Waters was a step behind him, but as you saw in the replay, number 32 was kind of hanging in that area back there, and that's the reason Hart didn't throw it right away. Dennis Thurman was the man.
Tilley in motion across the backfield for St. Louis. Good protection this time for Hart. Beats the pass away. And it is called a completion, though the receiver did fumble the ball after he went down. Mel Gray. Well, let's see. Is it called a completion? Bring it back to the line of scrimmage or not?
They're going to give it to him. Well, that's close right there. Steve Wilson really popped him. That ball hit the shoulder pads about the time Steve Wilson hit his back. And this is just a call by the referee. Could have won either way. But here's the ball's in there, and he's hit immediately by Wilson. But it looks good there. It looked like a good call. He hit the ground. The ball popped loose. Once you hit the ground, the ball's dead.
Third down. Cardinals need 3 for the first down from their 41. Again, Pat Tilley in motion across the backfield for the St. Louis Cardinals. Hart throwing on 3rd and 3. Intended for Anderson. And Anderson looked to be open.
Well, D.D. Lewis had Anderson, and then Anderson broke behind D.D. Lewis. By that time, Jim Hart had to get rid of the ball. D.D. had Anderson pretty well out in the flat.
So a punting situation for the Cardinals. Swider comes back in to do the honors. He'll be standing at his 26. And the Cowboys once again deploy the single safety. James Jones standing back on his 15-yard line. The youngster from Mississippi State. Nice high kick, a little bit shorter than the others. Jones at the 23, couldn't get started.
Well, that's close down there.
To a late hit.
The late hits. Someone's going to be called for one of those late hits.
Timeout. 3 minutes, 52 seconds left to play in the first half. 1st and 10, Dallas ball at the 22-yard line with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left to play. First half. Busch Memorial Stadium, Cowboys, Cardinals. Tied at 7 apiece. Cowboys running game has been almost completely shut down, but you got to keep on trying. And that's what the Cowboys are doing.
Big Rush Brown, number 69, really caused that hit by the linebacker. In this case, it was Carney, but Rush Brown, number 69, was in there immediately and put the stops on Newhouse.
It's been a game for the defense, really, on both sides, though we haven't had a single turnover. A lot of hard hitting, and, of course, not much yardage picked up by the offense. Each team has had one substantial drive, resulting in a touchdown. 2nd and 10. No gain by Newhouse on that last play. Danny White looking right, goes left. Newhouse is elected back at the 13-yard line, and a big hit by Eric Williams, number 55, and that's got us smart.
Yeah, Eric, it's one of those plays where a linebacker just smelled that out all the way. Danny White's back. He fakes to Dorsett over to the right, pumps over there, comes back to Newhouse, and Eric Williams, I'm sure, was back there looking for that play all the way, and he just homed in on Newhouse, and Roberts a little shook up on the play.
So the ball is now on the 15-yard line, and the Cowboys are looking at a 3rd and 17. Dallas with only 14 rushing yards with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half.
We've got a regular running in here on 3rd down, which is unusual. And
Danny White calls the timeout.
Yeah, they couldn't get that play off. He was looking at the clock, and it was almost down to 0. And I don't know what Dallas was trying to do. It was 3rd and 17. They weren't going from the shotgun. Maybe they have something set up that's different, but normally on 3rd and long, they're in the shotgun.
Too deep in their own territory, you think?
Well,
I mean, you don't want to give it up here.
They've
certainly
still gone with the shotgun anyway, and maybe on a handoff, a sweep or something, but they're playing a little bit coy right now.
Number 18 there is Glenn Carano talking to Danny White along with head coach Tom Landry. Carano is the Cowboys' backup this year, as White was last year. And Carano told me here recently that one Roger Staubach once told him, Glenn, for you to play, I've got to get hurt. Danny's got to get hurt and Charlie Waters has got to get hurt, which I thought was pretty mean on your part.
We just kid each other a lot. Charlie was is really the fourth quarterback.
Toronto's got a future, though, I think.
Toronto's a heck of an athlete. He can throw. He hasn't disappointed anybody at all, and he's only had the chance to produce in practice. But he's going to be a good one someday, and it's tough because Danny White is young, and Danny's got a bright future ahead. So Glenn is just battling and is the number 2 man now. Gary Hogaboom is number 3, and they like him a lot. He's a rookie, but Glenn was a number 2 draft choice, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's just got to get on the playing field to do something with it.
That's right.
And with Danny White, it's going to be very difficult.
As it was for Danny White when you were quarterback. 3rd down, 17. Cowboys from their 15-yard line. 2 minutes, 19 seconds left to play in the first half. Inside handoff to Dorsett. Tony looking for some running room up to the 25-30. Dives to try to pick up the first down.
Well, he didn't miss it by much.
Let's see where they mark it. It'll be very close here, depending on where they mark it.
Of course, that's the sweep off of the shotgun formation that is pretty safe. You're back in your own territory, and of course, St. Louis should be ready for this. They've done an excellent job against the run, but they're not. They've got their passing defense in there, and Dorsett almost breaks it out all the way and falls about 2 yards short.
That's the Cowboys' longest gain from scrimmage this afternoon on a rush play, 15 yards. And really one of Dorsett's longest runs of the year. His longest run to date has been 20. They did not make the first down by a margin of a couple of yards, so White is in to do the punting.
Another fine punt.
3 men back. Fair catch is signaled, and that penalty will be against the Cowboys, I'm sure. For violating the fair catch signal. The fair catch was signaled by Willard Harrell, number 39. Looked like Doug Cosby didn't see him, number 84, and plowed right into him before the ball came down.
Well, I don't know. But then the guy ran with the Harrell. Harrell ran with the ball after he caught it, and that's going to be an interesting decision right there.
Now there's got to be fair catch interference, I would think, against the Cowboys as number 1.
I didn't see the signal on the fair catch.
Well, he signaled. I saw Harrell very definitely signal. Let's take a look at it again on the replay.
Here's the punt, and well, there's the signal right there, but then he's hit. Yes, that is interference on. But then I can't see the number of who actually caught the ball.
Big discussion going on with the officiating crew headed by Red Cashin, one of the finest in the National Football League. Red's going to get it all figured out for you, and he'll tell you.
Well, it should be on St. Louis the way it looked on the replay.
The flag was thrown because interference was called as the ball was to be caught for a fair catch. There is no foul because the man that was run into did not signal the ball. It was run after the fair catch was signaled. There will be a 5-yard penalty for delay.
Oh, yeah? So the penalty then will go against the Cardinals, I believe.
Well, he did not signal for it. I don't understand that.
Well, he did signal for it.
Well, he's waving to somebody.
But they picked up and ran after they signaled for the fair catch. You can't do that.
No, he said he didn't signal for the fair catch.
That's not what he said, Roger.
Well, I thought he did.
See, that's Mark Bell who winds up picking up the football.
Mark Bell's got the ball. But the referee said he did not signal for the fair catch, the man that was run into. That's what he said. And
that's right.
Now he might have been waving to his girlfriend up in the stands, but he definitely had his hand up in the air, and that was a bad call on the official.
Well, Mark Bell, who wound up running with the football, did not signal for the fair catch.
That's exactly right.
And you can't do that.
Well, that's true, but that's not.
I mean, you can't have one guy signal for the fair catch and the other guy take off with the ball.
Frank, you're my favorite announcer, and I'm not going to argue with you.
Let the officials figure it out. 2-minute warning is what's in progress right now. It's no longer a discussion here about the penalty. I think they've got that straightened out. The officials do, at least to their satisfaction, and we'll perhaps try to get it straightened out at halftime.
See, even football can be complex, Frank.
Well, you should know that, right? I mean, this is almost as complex as the Cowboys' offense.
Just a simple little punt. The ball went downfield. A guy caught it, ran with it. Look at now. We got the whole state of confusion out there.
55,000 fans, capacity house here.
It's like the UN right now trying to figure out what they should do next.
You think they're talking the same language? I mean, when you talk to an official, does he give you a straight?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I think with all of this, I think the people would rather have a commercial.
All right, if you say so, Roger, anything you say goes. Take a look at the punt reception again. The fair catch signaled here by Harold, number 39. He's got his left hand up. He puts that up. That means fair catch for everybody on the team. Instead, Bell makes the catch and Bell takes off. That's a penalty. That's delay of game against the Cardinals.
Well,
the only question is, Cosby hit Harold.
Right, that's true right there. When a man raises his hand, he was signaling for the fair catch. That does provide the fair catch for the whole team, but when Cosby ran into him, I thought the penalties would cancel each other out, and that's what they've debated about. And evidently, it's 1st and 10, so
1st and 15.
1st and 15.
Well, let's see.
The scoreboard's got 1st and 10.
We'll go with the scoreboard. 1st and 10. Cardinals at their 23. A minute 57 left. Intercepted by Charlie Waters. Waters is down to the 20 and the 15-yard line. First turnover of the day.
Charlie was right there, and that's a big play. That's minute 50. Hart's back. He's got Otis Anderson in. He's got time, and he drills it out to the sideline. It's a turn-in route to Mel Gray, and Charlie just steps right in front of him. He gets tripped up by Pat Tilley, or he would have went all the way.
Score is tied at 7.
Another big play by Charlie Waters. He's made them all year.
That is Waters' 4th interception of the year and ties him for the team lead with Wilson and Thurman. That's just one off the league lead. So the Cowboys have a chance to move ahead here prior to intermission. The officials have it spotted at the 14-yard line. Jay Saldi starts in motion. Danny White thrown on first down, goes to Saldi, and Saldi doesn't get much. Down to about the 11-yard line for a pickup of 3 as he was trailed by Lee Nelson, number 38, who's back in the game after being shaken up earlier.
Well, White had Drew Pearson on a down and in route about 5 yards down the field, cutting over the middle, and Jay Saldi broke to the outside. And when he saw the linebacker who was hanging that time, number 57, Mark Arneson, was in his way to Drew Pearson, so he laid it out to Saldi, and Lee Nelson was right there on top of him.
It is 2nd and 7. Cowboys at the 11-yard line. The Steelers, you saw, finally moved ahead of the Green Bay Packers. We'll have all the scores and highlights for you at halftime.
There's a blitz.
Big rush. Drew Pearson, the intended receiver at the goal line. Carl Allen, number 27, with good coverage. The pass was there.
Well, this is a blitz, so Danny White he's got Drew Pearson. Drew gets to the inside of the defensive back, Carl Allen, which you shouldn't do in a blitz because that's the weakness. But Carl Allen is still there. He gets enough to strip the ball, and he makes an excellent play. Once you have a blitz, you have no safety help, and what those cornerbacks try to do is prevent a receiver going inside to that middle of the field. And, of course, Drew got inside, and then Allen made up for it by stripping him of the football.
Cowboys are looking at a 3rd and 7 now. They have to reach the 4 to pick up the first down. They're at the Cardinal 11.
Watch the play to the tight end again this time.
Right back to throw it. Excellent protection. He's got all day. All the time in the world. And finally, elects to go in the end zone to Drew Pearson. And the Cardinals batted away. Allen was back there. He must have had 5 seconds.
Well, they had the 3-man rush in there, which I don't understand why they only had 3 men this time. They have Rush, Rush Brown coming in there. They're blocked. Everybody's doubled. Plenty of time. White's got all day, and of course he fires the ball to Drew Pearson. 12 seconds before he threw the football. Carl Allen, number 27, made a heck of a play. Normally, if you have 4 seconds, you've got plenty of time. So he had all day, but that's very unusual. And of course, Carl Allen made another fine play to knock the ball away.
Septien with a 28-yard field goal effort to give the Cowboys the lead. He's had his problems. He went 0 for 3 last Sunday night against San Diego. Waters puts it down. The kick is good.
Right through the middle.
And Dallas has recaptured the lead. Claimed it, as a matter of fact, for the very first time this afternoon, capitalizing on Charlie Waters' interception of that Jim Hart pass. But again, the Cardinals' defense stiffens, and the Cowboys have to settle for the 28-yard field goal to take a 3-point lead.
Well, Charlie Waters had 4 interceptions this year. I know 3 of them have been big plays. One against Washington at the end of the game, another against Atlanta to save Tampa Bay to save a possible touchdown, and of course this one. So 3 out of the 4 have been really key plays that have led to either stopping the opponent or setting up an important score, and that was a big 3 points before the half.
We talked about the Cowboys being in New York to play the Giants next week. Cardinals get Atlanta here at Busch Memorial Stadium next Sunday, and then of course to Texas Stadium to face the Cowboys 2 weeks from today.
Well, St. Louis has plenty of time left, Frank. They've got 1:29.
They've
3
got
timeouts left,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Septien's kickoff. Roy Green fumbles it at the 5, picks it up at the 12, back to the 15, out to about the 21-yard line. I hope you'll stay with us at halftime of this football game, because we have a very remarkable young man that I want you all to meet. Roger's going to be talking to him, and his story is so incredible that you'll have to see it and hear about it to believe it.
Yeah, it is something special, Frank. I've been corresponding with Carl for a long time. He's the guest of the Cardinals here. He's staying with Otis Anderson, and he's quite a young man.
His name is Carl Joseph, and we'll tell you more about him at halftime. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Hart has only thrown the ball 8 times in the first half, 4 out of 8 for 49 yards. So the Cowboys have held him in check pretty well. For Doug Marsh, the tight end, and batted away by Clinkscales. Number 47 as the rookie got the right hand up in front of Marsh. Good move by the youngster.
They're doubling the outside receiver this time. Mark Bell, and Clinkscales got the tight end. The tight end is going down into the seam to the outside, and Hart drills it out here, but Clinkscales right on his job. He knocks the ball down, gets up at the right moment, and does an excellent job. Almost intercepted the football.
Got very close to an interception. Cardinals shake it up on the play.
Oh, that's Deerdorf. They don't want to see that. He's the mainstay in that offensive line.
Or is
he? That's his left knee.
That's Joe Bostic, I believe. 71 instead of 72.
Oh.
Deerdorf is still alive and well and standing. It is a rather amazing thing what has happened to this Cardinals offensive line since the start of training camp. Deerdorf is the sole survivor. They're down to their 5th and 6th guards, and yet they have fought back. And of course Deerdorf's got all he can handle this afternoon in Too Tall Jones.
Well, Deerdorf and Ed have battled each other before, and it's a pretty even battle, because Dan Deerdorf is all pro, and of course Ed Jones is having a great year. So they somewhat cancel each other out. Bostek is the right guard, number 71, and he's coming on strong. Has been doing a good job. They can't afford to lose him.
They're doubling Randy White, it would appear, on virtually every play. We talked about the weakness, the inexperience on the left side of the Cardinals offensive line with the injuries.
You've got George Collins over there, the left tackle. The left guard is Barney Cotton, and Brahaney's the center. So normally you would double White with Brahaney and Cotton. That makes a long day for George Collins trying to block Harvey Martin. So most teams would keep a back in over there to help out also in case Martin escapes. You have a back. If you release that back, and then it's just man-on-man blocking either on White or on Martin, depending on what the linemen do inside. When you have a young line, inexperienced, the best you can do is try to get pickup blocks. Also, your running backs have got to just kind of explode, because there's not a lot of adjustments the offensive line can make. So it changes your offense somewhat, and the Cardinals have had to adjust to it, and they had trouble against Washington, but they did well last week against Baltimore.
Now you saw Bostic leave the field under his own power. Bostic, of course, has a brother who plays for the Washington Redskins. He's a lineman as well. Both play their college football at Clemson. 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals as we go back to play with 1:18 left in the first half. Mark Bell wide to the right side. They go with Anderson up the middle, across the 25, out to the 28-yard line. And I would think they'd start using those 3 timeouts, wouldn't you?
I do. Harvey Martin got banged up a little bit that time. He's limping, number 79. He got hit around that left knee, and he's limping off the field a little bit. Larry Cole got over there and made the tackle.
Martin comes out and is replaced by Bruce Thornton, number 77. There's a look at Otis Anderson. He spells his name with 2 T's, and the reason he does it is the physician on the birth certificate spelled it wrong. His mother wanted it O-T-I-S, but the physician spelled it with 2 T's, and so 2 T's it has been down through the years.
Dallas's defense, Frank, is really seems like they've settled down since that first drive. They're playing solid over in the sidelines. They're tending to Harvey's leg, but the defense has really settled down. They've played the pass well, and they're containing the running game. St. Louis has really not done very much since that opening drive.
Bostic, we get the report, an injured left knee. How serious, we don't know. Martin, the last few weeks, has been operating with a very deep thigh bruise on his left leg, and that may have flared up again. Soon Tom Landry will take his troops back into the dressing room, and I'm sure you've heard the talk many times before, haven't you?
Well, it's all business, really. It's going over what you go into a game. You study a team's tendencies, and you really don't know till the game starts how close they're going to come to those tendencies. And by halftime, Dan Reeves, Ermal Allen, and the people, Al Lavin is up there also, and they give the report to the offense and the defense with Jerry Tubbs up there, and they just analyze it and make any changes they need at halftime.
3rd and 2. Cardinals from their 29-yard line with a minute and 8 left. Anderson going outside and picks up the first down and some change as he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 39. So it'll be a Cardinal first down at their 39-yard line.
Anderson has 2 yards to go here, and it's very difficult to bring him down from the front. So you've got to catch him right about here, somewhere in this area, to stop him from the first down. And of course, he's got the speed to get outside. Steve Wilson is straight-armed, and Anderson gets even more than the 2 yards and gets out of bounds, stops the clock. And
1st and 10, St. Louis. Cardinals at their 39. The word from the Cowboy bench, bruised knee on Harvey Martin. He may be back. Hart looking long for Tilley. Pass is complete, and he is out of bounds at the 24.
Now that's a fine throw right there. Jim Hart had good protection. He gave Tilley the ability to maneuver in that seam there between Benny Barnes and Dennis Thurman, but Hart had the time, and of course he's got a great arm. He's a fine quarterback. Tilley's been doing a tremendous job making big plays all year, the leading wide receiver in the league in the NFC this year, and Hart lays it out. Benny, he made a move to the post, and Benny got caught inside a little bit, and Dennis got over there a little bit late, number 32, Dennis Thurman, and of course Pat Tilley made an excellent catch, and he's just a good, tough receiver with excellent hands.
A 38-yard pickup on the play, the longest gain from scrimmage for either side this afternoon. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. They go on the delay to Theodis Brown. Brown gets away from the initial wave, but too tall, hanging on for dear life, along with Charlie Waters to make the stop.
Well, Hart was anticipating the blitz. He tried to crack that middle with the quick
hurry up offense
with
here.
Theodis, but it wasn't to be.
On 2nd and 12, sideline throw intended for Mark Bell. Mitchell over there covering at the 20-yard line. That'll put the Cardinals in a 3rd down situation. I'm a little surprised they hurried that and really almost wasted that down. Did they not?
Well, they
I mean, they could have.
They only have one timeout left, so they don't want to use the timeout. They took a chance on the draw. They were trying to split the middle there, and either the play works or it doesn't. It looked like a bad play, but if you split that blitz, he's all the way to the goal line, and of course Dallas did a good job stopping him. So they gambled on that play. It didn't work. They couldn't waste the timeouts. They tried to hit the quick sideline pass.
If they have to go to the field goal, Neil O'Donohue, of course, their new field goal kicker, was 1 out of 3 last week.
This is a key play right here.
3rd down, 12. Ball is at the 26-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. Hart back to throw it.
They're coming after him.
Big pressure.
Coming after him.
They really came after it. Clinkscales, number 47 on the blitz, who has been very evident this afternoon. Rookie from South Carolina State. So it'll be up to O'Donohue, who last year was Tampa Bay's place kicker, performed under pressure, kicked the field goal that finally got the Buccaneers into the playoffs in the last regular season game. 1 out of 3 against Baltimore last week after replacing Steve Little. This will be a 42-yard effort with Worley to hold. In an attempt to tie the game with 31 seconds left in the half. It's up. It's far enough. It is good. Big 6'5" Neil O'Donoghue rifles one through from 42 yards out to counterman the 28-yard shot by Septien. We've got a Cardinal shaken up on the play.
That's number 60. That's Barney Cotton. Boy, I tell you, the linemen have got a disease here in St. Louis. These guys are getting hurt. St. Louis can't afford another lineman hurt.
John O'Mahundro, the Cardinal trainer, quickly out of the field, helping Cotton to the sidelines.
Cotton looks like it might have got a shot alongside the head because his legs are moving well and his shoulders look all right. So
spoken like a man who has had a shot to the head once or two in his career.
Well, when you start walking off to the other side, you know there's a problem somewhere.
You never did that.
Your legs won't take you to the other side. But
you never did that. You never.
Yeah.
You went off on the wrong side?
Sure. Started to anyway.
Somebody spun you around in the right direction. O'Donoghue will kick off. And again, the Cowboys have a great return threat in this rookie, James Jones from Mississippi State. You don't think he and D.D. Lewis were happy after Mississippi State upset Alabama?
Well, that was a big one. There's a lot of upsets yesterday.
Big 6'5" Irishman. 10-10. Comes down to Timmy Newsome on the far side. Newsome is back. A lot of room. 15 up across the 20 and fights his way to the 25.
A lot of room over to this left side, but St. Louis funneling him back to the middle.
Well, 21 seconds to go. Do you give it up for a lost cause, or can you get in shape for a field goal here?
Well, I don't think giving it up for a lost cause is the
I knew you wouldn't say
real
that.
Positive way, but no, they'll run the clock out. They don't want to take a chance on something foolish, and it's difficult to get much going now. But you regroup. 10-10. You got a new game starting in the second half.
Dorsett moving from the split backfield back to the eye. Newhouse taking the handoff and driving his way across the 30-yard line. Unless somebody calls time, that should be it as far as the first half is concerned. Very defensive-oriented first half of football. Cowboys scoring 10 in the second period. Cardinals with a touchdown in the first quarter and a field goal in the second. And they get a standing ovation from their fans as they leave the field.
Well, they came back. Jim Hart hit Pat Tilley on that big play. And that gives you a little bit of...
And we're awaiting the opening whistle from the referee, Red Cashin. We have it, and here we go. Score tied at 10. And out of the end zone by Septien. So it'll be a touchback, and the Cardinals have put it in play. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. First half statistics. Take a look here. Cowboys only 34 yards rushing. Not much offense really anywhere.
No, that's really the problem area. As Dallas's rushing is down, and it's been down. So they're having a bit of a problem there. And really St. Louis, I guess it's pretty even. They had, of course, the differences in the rushing. There's about a 40-yard swing there. But other than that, the time of possession is it's a pretty even game. And, of course, the score indicates it's an even game.
1st and 10, Cardinals. Pat Tilley wide to the right side. Mel Gray is split to the left. They go to the big man, Otis Anderson. And Anderson swarmed under after gaining just 1 yard. Bob Brunig, number 53. The Cowboy middle linebacker making the stop. Brunig now rooms with Danny White on the road. He roomed with you last year. What, does he have something here about quarterbacks? Or?
Well, no. He's kind of the offensive... the defensive quarterback, the middle linebacker, along with Charlie Waters. So it's good to have an offensive and defensive guy rooming together.
2nd and 9.
Wish I could say something more interesting than that.
Well, that'll do so you can think of something. Flag down as Wayne Morris takes the handoff. and jets out across the 25 to the 28-yard line.
Well, there was a quick flag on Randy White, and then there was a late flag. Maybe they both were in sync, but it's an offense is in good shape, and it's on the defense on Randy White. Randy jumped just before the ball was snapped, and can't do that.
That's a pretty good one-on-one matchup, as we have mentioned before. Randy White against Dan Deerdorf, who you see right there, one of the offensive captains of the Cardinals, and maybe we can focus in on that and watch that battle throughout the course of the afternoon. I should say Deerdorf goes against Tutall, doesn't he?
Deerdorf's against Tutall, the guy that's really battling Randy, and has had some good blocks on him. One on that long run by Otis Anderson was Barney Cotton. Of course, the referee gave us that 5-yard penalty there.
Second down. Cardinals need 3 for the first down. Ball is at their 26-yard line. Score tied early in the second period. Wayne Morris, not much there at all.
Well, that was a misdirection. They tried to go one way and Morris cut back the other, but Dallas's line came down the right side of the line. Harvey Martin, Randy White held his ground, and Ed Jones came over, Bob Bruning, so they had that play, and Charlie dove in there at the end, but they had that play figured out immediately, and were in good position all the way across the line.
Third down. Cardinals still need 3 for the first down. St. Louis actually has done better on the third down conversions than did Dallas in the first half. They give the call to Morris, and Morris drives out beyond the 30-yard line, and he's got it. Everybody looking for the big guy, Anderson, and they slip it to Morris. Former SMU fullback.
They all do a good job in there. Brahaney, number 51, is the center. He's blocking down, and Randy White and Brostek comes across, does his job, and Morris slips in there behind some fine blocks by the offensive line. Deerdorf isolates Ed Jones over there.
Mel Gray wide to the right side. Tilley is split to the left. 1st and 10 Cardinals at their 31-yard line. Just under 13 minutes left in the third period. Hart back to throw. Big pressure. Gets the pass away and just behind Mel Gray. And Hart had all he could do to get rid of the football.
Well, Hart did a good job. Jim Hart is not noted for a lot of running ability, but he has enough maneuverability. He's smart enough. He can feel the pressure. He can feel it. He can step around it, and he steps up right here. And thanks to the pressure by Hagman, because Gray was coming across that middle and had some running room, and if he would have caught the football, it would have been a foot race with he and Steve Wilson.
Cowboys sacked him twice in the first half. That's 27 sacks on the year against Hart. You remember several years ago, the Cardinals went a whole season, and Hart was only sacked 8 times, which is still the NFL record.
That was phenomenal.
2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line.
Good protection this time.
Intended for Mel Gray, batted out of bounds. Aaron Mitchell, number 34. Wilson was also back there. Other scores, Atlanta now 23-14 over the Buffalo Bills, striking a blow for the NFC, and Pittsburgh getting it back now for the AFC. Rocky Bleier just scored a touchdown in that game. Detroit has fought back and recaptured the lead from San Francisco. A lot of these back and forth games this afternoon. Our score 10-10, third period. Third down 10. Cardinals at their 32.
Well, Dallas has Klingscale and Dickerson, their normal third down defense, and St. Louis has got 3 wide receivers in the game. Protection's holding up.
Catch made by number 84, Dave Stieff.
He came back for the ball and chased back just far enough where he made the first down when he lunged for it, but he was driven back where he didn't make it. Now the referee's going to mark it short. One referee was giving it to him. The other referee said no. I couldn't see if he was out of bounds over there, Frank.
He was knocked backwards and then he dove for it. Let's see.
Yeah, but we couldn't see the sideline. The players were there if he stepped out of bounds, but when he first catches it, he looks like he's pretty close to the first down, but he has to come back. He's pushed back another yard or 2. He stops. He leaps, and I'll tell you, that one referee referee stuck by his guns and gave it to him. And from this angle, it looks like a good call.
First down it is for the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's an excellent effort by Steve right there.
Dave Steve, number 84, on the receiving end of that pass from Hart. And the Cardinals keep this drive alive. They're keeping the ball away from Dallas. Cowboys haven't touched it here in the second half yet. First and 10 at the 43-yard line. St. Louis end of the field. Gray wide left. Silly wide to the right side. Wayne Morris and Otis Anderson in the eye behind Jim Hart. Anderson taking the pitch, looking for some place to go. And driven to the artificial turf at the 45-yard line after a pickup of 2. Of course, Cowboy fans go berserk every time Dallas shows up in blue uniforms. The record book shows that down through the years when the Cowboys have worn blue, they've won 9 and they've lost 8, but it's always regarded as kind of a jinx thing. How about for the players? Bother you?
Well, no, the players don't really think about it. It's in fact, the blue jerseys I think look good. Look good on Dallas. It's a change, and players have other things to worry about other than what color jerseys they have.
Second and 8. Cardinals from their 45. Anderson trying to cut back, tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, these defenses are pursuing. They're all over the place. There's Bruning's back over there. The Randy White, Harvey. Everybody is pursuing towards that football. I think a reverse has got to be a good play against either one of these teams. They're just right around that ball. They're going after that ball, and it doesn't look like many of those offside people are staying home. They're hungry to get that football, and they're doing an excellent job against the rush, both teams.
Third down, 7. Cardinals from their 46-yard line. They picked up the last third down play. Again, 3 wide receivers in there, and the Cowboys in their prevent. Pressure on Hart, and down he goes at the 35.
Big Ed Jones was around the corner there, and he got the best of Deerdorf in that play, and also
Martin came in from the other side.
Larry Cole was a factor. Watch Big Ed Jones, number 72. He takes that inside rush. He gets inside. He's doubled by Bostic, Deerdorf, and makes a great play, and Harvey comes around the corner on Collins on the other side, and it's just a 4-man rush. No blitz that time, but Dallas's defensive line made the difference.
Oh, the Cardinals will give up the football for the first time in the second half. Slider standing back on his 22. Good snap. High kick, a little bit short. James Jones moving up on it.
To run back
at the 25, 30. Fine secured tackle by the Cardinals' Randy Love, number 40.
That Randy Love is an excellent specialty team man. He's made at least 3 plays and possibly 4 plays on stopping the punt.
Welcome back to St. Louis. The Cowboys own the football. First time of the second half. First and 10 from their 31-yard line. Danny White, 10 out of 16 in the first half for 75 yards. But the Cowboy rushing game is virtually non-existent except for one 15-yard burst right at the end of the half by Tony Dorsett. And, of course, Dorsett's very big 4-yard touchdown run, which was spectacular. Here's TD. Dorsett forward to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 3. It'll be second down, 7. Those ribs were sore coming in. I imagine they're going to be sore going out. He's taking some pretty good shots.
I think we're going to see a reverse or something unusual here fairly soon. Dallas is just trying to blast in there on the running game and just not get anywhere with the running game.
Second and 7. Cowboys have both wide receivers off to the right side up at the top of your screen. Drew Pearson and then Tony Hill in the slot.
Got their passing attack in there now.
Butch Johnson is also in the game. That's intended for Johnson, who makes the grab near the first down marker at the 42-yard line.
Pass complete to Johnson.
I was, Worley made the hit over in the sidelines, and I asked him about Danny White. And I have kidded Roger. I put Roger in the Pro Bowl with my interceptions. I asked him how he felt about Danny White.
Jim right now is a quarterback.
Well, he's an excellent quarterback. Of course, he's got great athletic ability. As we talked at the Pro Bowl last year, when you were thinking about retiring, you said Dallas was lucky to have him, and they very definitely are, because he's a great quarterback, and he stepped in and done a fine job.
That was a first down play for the Cowboys. Didn't net them much at all, and it looked like, yes, Ron Springs has come into the game for the first time at fullback, replacing Robert Newhouse.
I'm not going to belabor the issue of Danny White because of the fact that his record speaks for itself. He is, as Roger said, an excellent athlete. He can do it all. He's made big plays, and not only punting the football or when he's run with the punt formation. So he can do it all. He's got the speed, he's got the arm, and he's a very intelligent quarterback.
2nd and 8. Sideline throw. Looked like Drew Pearson slipped as he tried to make his cut. Carl Allen was over there covering him. Well, then why is White peddling those Roger Who bumper stickers?
Well, he deserves to be the way he's playing. He gets tired of hearing about me, and I don't blame him. Danny threw that a little bit fast that time. He got rid of that ball a little bit quick. Drew also slipped out of his break.
Well, the reason Springs is in there, probably Newhouse has carried the ball 5 times, picked up only 9 yards. Dorsett in 12 carries has picked up 25. Shotgun on 3rd and 8 from the 44. Bullet, first down. Drew Pearson at the 43-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals for the first down.
This is excellent. Again, the pass rush comes from the outside. There's John Fitzgerald in the middle trying to pick up. James Jones over there picking up. Everybody's coming around Danny. He steps up in the pocket, has plenty of room, but then he has to drill it. He's got the arm, he's got the strength to put it in there, and Drew Pearson's in that hole. And with that kind of time, of course, it's tough for a defensive back to stop anybody, but Danny White also drilled it between a couple people.
Pearson coming into this game needed just 12 pass receptions to set an all-time Cowboy career mark for most receptions. That mark currently held by Bob Hayes. Little hit screen out to Tony Hill. Cardinals were ready for it. Stack him up for the loss back at the 46-yard line. Now you saw White hesitate.
Yeah, there was a mix-up somewhere. He started to fake to his left, and he looks like he was faking to his left, and when he looked over there, he couldn't find Tony Hill. Watch him look right here. Now he can't find him, and then he comes back and he throws it out late. By that time, you get the defense able to get over there. Mark Arneson's over there, Allen's over there, Kearney's over there, Rush Brown's over there, and they got the whole team over there. You got Fredericks, Andy Fredericks is over there with Rafferty as pickup blockers, but that play is a timing. It's got to happen quick, and if you hesitate, that's what happens.
It is 2nd down, 14, loss of 4. Cowboys shoved back to the St. Louis 47. Score tied at 10, 7 minutes left in the 3rd period. White back to throw it. Intercepted. Eric Williams at the 40-yard line. 45. Williams caught by Butch Johnson. And the Cardinals take over. At their 47, turnovers are even at 1 apiece.
Well, Danny should not have thrown that one. He tried to lay it over the linebackers and just there's 71. Andy Fredericks doing a good job on his man. That's all. That's all we see right there.
Well, watch him go after it.
Look at Andy. Andy is now subbing for Jim Cooper. He's coming down the line. We got Pat Donovan. Those guys don't like to make tackles, but when they have to, they do it. Andy's filling in. He's doing a good job today. Of course, Andy's kind of a quiet guy on the team, and not a real dominant guy. In fact, doesn't have a lot of charisma. He had a charisma bypass operation, but he's a heck of a tackle.
That'll do it every time. Tell me again, Roger, what did you say about Frederick?
I was just kidding, Andy. I said he had a charisma bypass operation. Andy's just a quiet guy. He does his job. He's filled in for everybody when he's had to, and today he's doing an excellent job.
1st and 10, Cardinals from their 47-yard line. O.J. Anderson thunders up the middle for 10 yards. Into Cowboy territory, down to the 44.
Well, here's what they've got to do to be successful. It's just straight ahead. He's got Wayne Morris leading, blocking, and it's straight ahead. It's zone blocking. All you do is block man on man, men in front of you, have the back lead, and that's the kind of things you have to do when you have a line that's aggressive but a bit young.
A pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. St. Louis at the Dallas 44. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. Scores tied at 10. driving for the first down. Didn't need much. Final score, the Pittsburgh Steelers have fought off the Green Bay Packers, who gave all they could handle. 22-20.
Bart Starr's really had that pack in every game, I guess, since even the Dallas game back when all the criticism took place the week before Dallas, and he's done a good job with them.
Tampa Bay Giants game is now final. Another loss for the Giants. 10-10 here in St. Louis. 1st and 10. Cardinals at the 43-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Tilley wide to the right side. Gray to the left. Hart back to throw. Air mails it. Out to Tilley. Tilley makes the catch. Touchdown.
I don't believe that play right there. I'd say that Pat Tilley, we saw at the beginning of the show the one-handed catch he made against Baltimore, but I think he one-upped himself right there. That's a play. That guy is, of course, he's leading the wide receivers in receptions, and he just makes big plays week after week, and this is as big a one as I've seen in a long time. Look at that. The ball's wobbling out there. He comes over the shoulder of Steve Wilson, and Steve's a fine athlete. Steve's been making the big plays on defense. Dennis Thurman's over there, but it was too late. He comes over Steve Wilson's shoulder and just concentrates on the ball, looks it in, and nice play on, to say the least, on Pat. Pat has really done a good job. Pat Tilley is now caught 3 passes in every game, and is the only wide receiver in the NFC that's done that.
Extra point by O'Donohue is good, and once again the Cardinals have recaptured the lead. 42 yards on the touchdown pass from Hart to Tilley, and O'Donohue is ready to kick off. James Jones elects not to run it out from 5 yards deep in the end zone. One more look at that touchdown. It was spectacular.
Watch this now. Steve Wilson has excellent coverage right here. Steve is doing his job. Hart throws the ball. He doesn't get everything he wants on the ball. It's wobbling out there a little bit, but it's just an individual effort here on Pat Tilley against a fine defensive back in Steve Wilson.
So the Cardinals have fired up this crowd again as they have recaptured the lead. Puts Hart over the 100-yard yardage mark in passing. Didn't take the Cardinals long. Of course, again, the turnover set it up. Eric Williams, pass interception. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Ron Springs is now coupled in the backfield along with Dorsett. White back to throw it. Protection is good. Downfield, Drew Pearson at the 40. Pearson up to the 47-yard line. First down.
Well, that's great pass protection right there. That's a play-action pass where one of Dallas's favorite plays. They've got the tight end underneath. Danny fakes right here. He's looking at Drew. He sees Drew's not open, and so he's looking for Billy Joe, number 89. Billy Joe's covered, so he pulls it back. Drew makes an adjustment. He comes back to the middle of the field like a great receiver should. Danny White picks him out, and it's a fine play for Dallas. Excellent protection on the play-action pass. Normally, you don't have that much time when you're faking a run and throwing the football.
That's another final score. Detroit coming back after being down a good part of that game and beating San Francisco. 1st and 10. Cowboys at their 46-yard line. Ron Springs. Springs is playing with some tender ribs.
That's an interesting play back there. Dallas is down. They had given up a big play, a turnover, come back this series, and they have the ability to make the big play, and that's the key to a team that can come back when things aren't going quite well. They did it last week against San Diego, and that was a key play. It was a big play for them.
Tilley, originally a 4th-round draft choice 5 years ago out of Louisiana Tech. He's from Marshall, Texas, and still lives in Shreveport. Has certainly turned into one of the premier wide receivers in the NFC. Doesn't have the big size, but great hands, great moves. Pass is complete. Butch Johnson with his first reception of the day. The officials ruled he was down at the 41-yard line of the Cardinals, which is enough for another Dallas first down.
This is just a quick sideline pass. It's a short sideline. Danny only takes 3 steps, 3-step drops, so you get rid of the ball quick. Butch breaks to the outside, and he likes to run with the football once he catches it. He gives you everything he has all the time, and he's made big plays. He's got 3 touchdown passes this year and 14 receptions. He's got 2 today, so he's up to 16.
They ruled that Allen, number 27, stopped him standing up. Danny White now 15 out of 22 for 128 yards. And the Cowboys driving with a 1st and 10 from the St. Louis 41. Springs. Still not much there in the rushing game. Eric Williams, number 55, and Worley, number 22, on the stop. Let's call it no gain, make it 2nd and 10. 2.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Cardinals leading 17-10. Typical Cowboy Cardinal game as Springs leaves the field for Dallas, as the Cowboys go into a passing situation on 2nd and 10. Only one setback. That's Dorsett. Wide open. Cody Hill at the 20. Another Dallas 1st down.
That's the same play they hit before. They sent Dupree straight through the middle. Tony Hill came underneath everything, deep over the middle, about 22 yards deep, and he hung onto the ball. Excellent throw. White anticipates, throws it in the hole. Hill gets hit hard by Stone, and then Worley, and he hangs onto the ball, and Dallas has got a 1st down the 20.
A pickup of 22 yards on that play. The nose of the football is just inside the Cardinal 20-yard line. Cowboys going for the equalizer. They trail 17-10. Springs is back in there, coupled with Dorsett at the running back.
Here they come. Here they come.
Drew Pearson. No pass interference call. Carl Allen coming over Pearson's head, and Pearson has a word with the official.
Well, there's a mix-up here. Tony Hill's coming right in Drew's territory. White fakes it, throws. He knows it's a blitz. He knows Drew should be man-to-man and throws it over the middle, and Allen is there, and that's not a bad call.
If you say so.
That's close. I mean, that referee's got to look at the ball, the receiver, and the defensive back, and in that case, it was probably too close to call.
You're waffling a little. 2nd down, 10. Cowboys at the Cardinal 20. Minute 16 left in the 3rd period. On the delay, Dorsett down to the 15. 14-yard line. He'll still need a strong 4 for the 1st down, with 3rd down coming up. Dorsett, who has been held in check. Cardinals coming into this game feel that they need to win at least one of the 2 games, get a split in the next 3 weeks against the Cowboys to have any semblance remaining of a wild card opportunity. Well, the way Dallas and Philadelphia are going, you'd have to say the Cardinals' shot is a long one. 3rd down, 5 needed for the 1st down. Here's where have marked it at the 15.
Here's where it all happens. They've got 3 wide receivers in the game. They're in the shotgun. Watch the tight end. That's where Danny likes to go. Got Billy Joe Dupree to the outside.
Tight end it is. Billy Joe Dupree was the intended receiver.
Well, Steve Niels did a good job there. Billy Joe's a tall receiver. Niels leaped at the right time. Billy Joe ran out into the flat. Then he broke back upfield. He was isolated on Steve Niels, number 53, and Niels does an excellent job. He's running down with him and times it just right, because Billy Joe's a big man. The throw was good, and it was just a good play by Steve Niels.
4th and 5, and the Cowboys will go for the field goal. Septien, who hit from 28 in the 1st half. This will be a 32-yard effort. Waters to hold. It's good.
Raphael is on the button.
Back on the beam. Raphael Septien of the Dallas Cowboys, who is 2 out of 2 in the afternoon. 19 seconds left in the 3rd period. Back after this. Well, we've got a ball game here in St. Louis. 19 seconds left in the 3rd period. Cardinals leading the Cowboys 17-13. Shadows completely across the field here now as Septien kicks off for Dallas. He's been booming them. Roy Green, a yard deep in the end zone. Out to the 5, 10, 15. Trying to taken outside and dragged out of bounds by Dexter Clinkscales at the 19-yard line.
Well, Raphael's kicking the ball well. Ball was high. Good one to cover.
There's Danny White talking things over with Tom Landry. Well, it looks like the Cowboys are going to have to do it through the air because the rushing game is just not there. That's another final score. Atlanta maintains no worse than a tie for first place in the NFC West by beating Buffalo 30-14. Take that, AFC. Anderson and Morris, the setbacks. The handoff to O.J. Anderson. Too tall Jones finally submarined him and sent him reeling forward after a pickup of a yard or two. Brunig also in on the stop.
He got one out of nothing, but
that's the end.
Defense is doing a good job against the rush.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Cardinals 17, Cowboys 13. Final period of action coming up. Don't go away. We've got a thriller here in St. Louis. Once again, another typical Cowboy-Cardinal game. Cardinals 2nd and 8 from their 22-yard line. Jim Hart looking to his right. Intended for Mark Bell at the 40-yard line.
They've got Mark Bell out there, so Dennis Thurman plays man-to-man. They keep Charlie Waters back as the free safety, and Hart's trying to get it in that seam behind Thurman and in front of Waters, and that's difficult. You've got to put the ball right on the money, and it's a difficult throw with an experienced secondary, especially with Waters playing the deep position.
Efrain Herrera is at a 21-yard field goal for Seattle. Put the Seahawks out in front of Philadelphia 3-0. Late starting game. 3rd and 8. The Cardinals try to mix it up a bit, catch the Cowboys off guard with the running play and the obvious passing situation. He did not pick up enough for the first down, and the Cardinals will have to punt.
Now they tried to trap on 3rd down and almost worked.
O.J. Anderson now 55 yards and 11 carries, but both defenses have been tough. Slider back to do the punting. He's had an excellent afternoon, as you can see. James Jones deep for the Cowboys. Big rush. Jones at the 40, fumbles it. Cardinals recover at the 44.
That's a big break. James, the ball was short, and there he is. There's the man that's been around the ball all day, Randy Love, number 40. He's been sensational on the specialty teams. But the ball is a little short, and James is trying to run towards it and just drops it. Hitting right in the hands, and that's Randy Love, number 40, right on top of it.
He almost got it back, but Love just outdove him for it. So now the Cardinals, who capitalized on an interception in the third period by Eric Williams, and parlayed it into a touchdown. Get another Cowboy turnover, this one at the Dallas 44. Anderson gets away from Waters. 40, 35. O.J. is out of bounds at the 30-yard line. First down.
Well, I tell you, he put a move. He started to he stopped, and of course, with that kind of speed, look at him right here. He comes in the middle of that line, stops, another move inside, jukes Waters, gets to the outside, and with his speed, again, he's another Dorsett type. Only bigger, but he's got the kind of speed to get outside once he changes directions with the acceleration, and it's a big play for him.
A lot bigger than Dorsett. Baltimore beat Kansas City 31-24. And San Diego bombed Cincinnati. Fouts it another big day. 1st and 10. Cardinals from the Cowboy 30. Anderson. Too tall Jones got him around the ankles and brought him down. He fell forward for a yard or so.
Same play to the other side, and Big Ed was right there and made the stop. You've got Dutton in there, 78 right now. He's alternating with Cole at tackle, and Harvey Martin's back in. Randy White. So that Dallas front four is intact and putting the pressure on Hart. in the passing game, and if Hart has the time, though, that's when he's been hitting the big ones.
2nd and 9. Cardinals from the Cowboy 29.
Gonna have to go to the air here.
Slot formation right side. They sent Tilley in motion out of that slot. Nice fake by Hart. Under pressure, gets rid of it. Tilley at the 17-yard line, making the grab.
And that Pat Tilley is an artist with those hands. He catches the ball with his hands. And, you know, you talk about receiver. This is a play action right here. He fakes the draw to Otis Anderson. Hart is pressured right here by Ed Jones. He steps around him. There's Dutton and Randy White, and he gets rid of the ball. Nice. Look at those hands right there. That's what you tell a receiver. Catch it in your hands. And there's no finer receiver than Pat Tilley and sticking that ball in his hands. He's an artist of catching the ball with his hands, and that's where you have to catch it there. You're trying to catch it with your body there, you don't make the catch.
4 catches now for 100 yards for Tilley, including the 1 touchdown. First down, Cardinals at the Cowboys 16. Anderson down to the 11-yard line. Tilley is only 5'10", weighs 171 pounds. The trend continues toward the smaller, mobile receivers, and of course the rules work much more in favor of the receivers these days than they have in the past. One of the Cardinals shaken up.
Cardinal on one knee. Looks like the big man, too. Dan Deerdorf.
12 minutes, 19 seconds left to play in the game, and we'll return to Busch Memorial Stadium after this word from your local station. Dan Deerdorf, the sole survivor of the starting unit of the Cardinals offensive line, has left the field, hobbling a bit. He missed most of last year with a knee injury.
Dan has been an all-pro tackle. He's a great one. He's as big as a mountain. He's the only experienced man other than Braheny that's in that offensive line, so they need him. We got Brad Oates in there, number 65, filling in. He has to come out for one play. I think he's all right. He'll probably go back in.
Cardinals have a 2nd and 5 upcoming as we return to play from the Cowboy 11-yard line. They lead 17-13. Looked like movement by the St. Louis left guard.
Barney cut.
That'll cost the Cardinals 5 and make it 2nd and 10, and that changes the situation somewhat. Anderson has now carried 15 times for 76 yards. Keep in mind the fact that if he does reach 100, he'll be the first player in NFL history ever to gain 100 yards against the Cowboys in 3 different games.
Cloud start. Number 60 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Well, that's a helpless feeling right there for old Barney. You know, the situation really does change, Frank. You got 2nd and 5. You can do about anything. You can run, play action, throw the football. Here, you're pretty much back into a passing situation.
2nd and 10 from the Cowboys 16. Cowboy rushes on, and Hart gets it away. Intercepted. Dennis Thurman at the 40. I don't believe they'll catch him. Thurman all the way for a touchdown.
That's a big break there, isn't it? Gee, that game turns around quick. Hart looked like he was trapped.
One of Charlie's Angels comes through at the big play. Safety, Dennis Thurman, doing a great job filling in for Randy Hughes after he was injured in preseason. We'll get the official yardage, but it was 70-plus yards.
Here it is. Again, you're in that 2nd and 10, so they had to throw, so that offside is even bigger. D.D. Lewis on a delayed blitz, hits him around the ankles. Otis Anderson hits off his fingertips. The reason Thurman was over there was Lewis was blitzing, so Thurman has to take the back. He has to take the back out, and he took Anderson, the ball.
77 yards. There's a touchdown.
There's Jay Salty leading down the sidelines. Of course, Jay's an offense run down there. He's so excited.
Charlie's Angels coming through again. This time, Dennis Thurman with the big play, and the Cowboys have recaptured the lead. And this crowd is suddenly silent as Septien adds the extra point. And with 11 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this NFC Eastern Division game, it's Dallas 20, St. Louis 17. Who says the sun isn't always shining on the Dallas side of the field?
Well, I'll tell you, that's a turnaround right there. You're over there on the sidelines watching your team probably either give up a field goal or a touchdown on the Dallas side, and the Cardinal side, you're looking to some strategy to try to score or at least set up the field goal, and all of a sudden the thing gets turned 180 degrees.
Cowboys are about to be 11 down. Now all of a sudden they're 3 ahead.
That's a big swing.
Big swing.
Especially in the fourth quarter.
Septien ready to kick off. Capacity crowd of 55,000 is stunned after that 77-yard interception return by Dennis Thurman, the former All-American from USC. Willard Harrell at the 3-yard line, out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and Harrell takes it all the way back to the 45-yard line. However, there is a flag back on the 15. A clip is the preliminary indication against St. Louis, and they'll have to start this drive from inside their 10. You talk about bad breaks. Now, they got 2 of the biggest in a row here.
This will test you, to say the least.
You not only have to be lucky, you got to be good. But luck sure plays a big part of it. And anytime you're talking about a tip ball like the interception, it's got to be luck, really.
Well, the pressure, though, creates that. Dallas had good pressure. They had a good delay blitz, and here's the call here.
By the receivers, number 84.
Number 84.
That's Dave Stieff, number 84.
Here's Steve. He's the one the clip was called on, and it's not here, though. He's got right there. He gets bounced around, and then he comes back and hits Solomon in the back. Solomon's telling everybody about it.
Ball is back at the 7-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Hart comes out throwing again. Floats it downfield for Tilley. He's there. Tilley goes out of bounds at the Dallas 46.
Hart pumped. He got the protection. He pumped. Had Tilley make a move to go deep. It was a little fake to Morris there, but he pumps right here, gets a commitment, and he's got the protection to do that. Boy, that's good protection that time, and he lays it up, and Tilley's right there. Tilley's the man of the hour again. Gets behind. Well, he was behind Aaron there all the way. Aaron Mitchell, number 34, had him the whole distance, so it was Mitchell's man all the way down the field.
146 yards receiving now for Tilley. The last 46 coming on that play. And the Cardinals are fighting. They're not going to give up easily. They have a 1st down at the Dallas 46. We've still got 11 and a half minutes to go. Anderson bursts through a big hole. Over the right side, close to a 1st down at the Cowboy 37.
Here's Anderson. He just explodes. He's got a lead blocker in Morris, number 24, that blocks him, Bob Bruning. And then Mike Hageman comes over from his linebacker position. Randy White, number 54, is in there to clean up. The big block was on Bruning with the lead blocker, Morris.
Pickup of 8. It is 2nd and 2 for the Cardinals at the Dallas 38-yard line. Well, they haven't taken long, have they, to move from their 7 all the way to the Dallas 38. Again, Anderson did not pick up the 1st down.
Well, they didn't fool Ed Jones that time. Ed came right underneath everybody. He submarined in there and grabbed Anderson around the ankles. Stopped that play immediately.
Too tall comes up limping from that tackle. He was limping a little bit earlier.
Hagman was also in on the play, and Hagman's been around the ball all day. He's made some key plays in the running game, and has been a fine linebacker this year for Dallas.
3rd down, still 2 needed for the 1st down. There's the hook on Hart.
This is 3rd and 2 this time, so we're in that short yardage situation.
Wayne Morris picks up the 1st down as he moves it to the 34-yard line. Thurman, number 32, Bruning, number 53 in the tackle, and Bruning getting up.
See if we can see Otis Anderson this time. He must have put a block on someone. He's holding his right arm. He's hurt. Morris really exploded in there, and of course Anderson was the lead blocker and blocked someone to hurt his arm. He's out of the game right now.
Anderson's substitute is Willard Harrell, and you lose a lot of size when you make that exchange. Tilley to the left side, Gray to the right. 1st and 10, Cardinals at the Dallas 34. Dallas leading 20-17. Final period. Jim Hart for Mel Gray. 6 points.
Well, there's no flags. It's another Mel Gray deep pass, and he's done that against Dallas time and time again. He's been shut down the last year, at least the last 3 games, but he exploded today. He had 7 passes last week, and he's made some big plays today. He just went right by Steve Wilson. Here's the secondary. We can see everybody now. Steve Wilson's got Gray man-to-man. Dennis Thurman's backing up right here also. He's supposed to be helping over there, and he just gets over there too late. Thurman is partly responsible for that, and based on what I just saw right there, I would say I'd have to give him more responsibility than Steve Wilson. Steve Wilson expected help deep, and he didn't get it.
Neil O'Donoghue bangs home the extra point, and the Cardiac Cardinals are alive and well in St. Louis, going 93 yards on that touchdown drive to recapture the lead.
Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Jim Hannafin looking on from the Cardinal bench as O'Donoghue kicks off for St. Louis. 9 minutes left to play in the game. James Jones from the goal line out to the 10. Specialty teams of the Cardinals swarming all over the place, stopping him at the 15. One more look at the touchdown by Mel Gray, his 13th career touchdown.
Here's the touchdown. Hart has got a play-action fake here. There's no back out there. Now, Steve Wilson's got the area short. He sees no back, so he runs back there. But really, Dennis Thurman was responsible for getting over to take the deep area.
Danny White, 16 out of 26.
The play-action fake there held Thurman just long enough where he didn't get over there, and that made the difference.
White is thrown for 150 yards. This crowd is alive again, and they're chanting defense. As you look at Pat Tilley, an integral part of the Cardinals offense. 1st and 10, Cowboys from their 15. Dallas is struggling. Tony Hill out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That should be just about enough for the first down.
That was an excellent throw. Steve Niels is going to the outside to take away anything short, and White just gets the ball right over his head. And, of course, Tony Hill's in front of Allen, number 27. But it's a nice throw over Steve Niels, number 53. Of course, Allen is responsible, knocks him out of bounds.
Hot air all over the place. They got a good view of the ball game from there. 1st and 10, Cowboys at their 26-yard line. Cardinals leading now 24-20. The delay to Dorsett. And Dorsett is up to the 30. You know, I couldn't help but notice this morning the cartoon in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, which was a cartoon of my colleague in the broadcast booth with bars around the booth and the game going down into the final 2 minutes. Like you wanted to get out and they weren't about to let you come back here.
That man right there, number 11, is someone you don't replace. We just had him on there a second ago. He's doing all right. He's had a tremendous year, and he's throwing the ball well today.
Dorsett got 5. It's 2nd down 5. Cowboys at their 30. Blitz.
Chalk that one up to Mark Arneson, Frank.
Arneson, number 57, and now the Cardinals doing what they did so well against Baltimore, blitzing.
Yeah, they did it. They've blitzed some today. Mark Arneson's the linebacker on the weak side over there, so someone's got to pick him up. Someone made a mistake, and he just went in and knocked the football down. But it was a quick screen out there, so Danny gets rid of the ball, and it could have been a big play.
This club is fired up. They are really high. Cardinals up, and the Cowboys maybe with a little bit of a letdown after the big victory over San Diego. They've had to struggle for everything.
I'd say now, along with most of the day, there's been a lot of big plays, but this is a key 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Knocked away by Lee Nelson. Billy Joe Dupree, the intended receiver. And the Cowboys will have to punt it with 8 minutes left to play in the game.
Lee Nelson, number 38. That ball was on target to Billy Joe. Danny hesitated a little bit back here. He had plenty of time. He wasn't sure initially where he was going to throw the ball. Then once he saw Billy Joe, he let it go, and Nelson came around, knocked it down with his left hand.
For the most part, White has had good pass protection, wouldn't you agree?
He's had excellent pass protection.
Obviously, the secondary of the Cardinals been doing an excellent job covering White's receivers. You saw Mark Bell, number 81, the deep man. Another fine high floater. Bell watches it sail out of bounds somewhere in the area of the 20-yard line. So the Cardinals will put it in play. They'll mark it at the 22, and we'll be back at Busch Memorial Stadium right after this. Let's take a look at other scores around the National Football League. Minnesota leading the Redskins in the second period. Rams over New Orleans. When are the Saints going to win one? That's in the first quarter out on the West Coast. Herrera has kicked another field goal for Seattle. They're 6-zip over Philadelphia. And Denver leading Houston on a couple of Fred Steinfurt field goals. Miami in front of Oakland 9-3. That's a second period score.
Oakland's got that 9-3 over Miami.
Is that what I said?
I think he had it reversed.
My eyesight is going. The game's getting too exciting for me. Cardinals 1st and 10 at their 22-yard line. Anderson trying to go outside. Steve Wilson, the first to get to him, drops him for the loss back at the 18-yard line. -4 on that play. It'll be second down 14. Anderson, prior to that play, 17 carries for 84 yards. I'll be back to 80 after that loss. 7.5 minutes left to play in the game. Cardinals lead by 4. Just in basic Cardinal Cowboy game. That's what it is.
Well, the Cardinals have a big series right here. They don't want to be caught back in this 20-yard line territory. They want to get out and move it, get a couple of first downs, and keep control of the football, because Dallas has got too much in offense to let them have the football back again.
Again, the big man, Anderson, gets the call, wrapped up by Randy White at the line of scrimmage, along with John Dutton, number 78.
Big John Dutton made the initial hit. Randy came back over and helped out.
Passing situation, so the Cowboys go with their prevent. This will be a third down. Cardinals will need 12 for the first down from their own 20-yard line. Hart is 10 out of 21 for 233 yards, and Tilley has caught 5. Look for Tilley again. What do you think?
Well, they got Mel Gray over the left side. Tilley, maybe Doug Marsh, the tight end, will do something over the middle.
You've covered about everybody. Anderson.
Or how about handing off to Otis Anderson?
That doesn't sound like a bad idea. It never does. You covered all your bets except that one. Fourth down. Cardinals will give it back to the Cowboys. You see the time remaining. Just over 6 minutes. Same two teams in 2 weeks at Texas Stadium. Swider back to do the punting. Cowboys have 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Now they peel back for the return. James Jones at his 25.
It's a long one, but it was a low kick.
30, 35, and up to the 39-yard line. And Dallas will put it in play from the Cowboy 39 with 5 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in this football game. Back in St. Louis after these words. Well, they're hoping it up in St. Louis right now because the Cardinals are in front of the Cowboys 24-20. But we've still got 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. The Cowboys have a first down at their 39-yard line. Set and Springs in the backfield. Danny White back to throw it. On the run. Butch Johnson goes out of bounds at the Cardinal 44. First down.
That was Drew Pearson.
Pardon me,
Frank.
Drew Pearson.
It was the same play as before that Danny scrambled around and Drew pulled up over the middle. This time he makes the play action fake to Dorsett. He's looking. There's Billy Joe underneath, number 89. Drew Pearson is picked up coming over the middle right there. He's worried about Eric Williams, and then he waits and hits him out late behind Arneson and in front of Stone, number 23. So an excellent scramble by Danny White. Picked out the right receiver. And good pass protection.
Taught him everything you knew, didn't you? 18 for 30 for 177 yards for White. This one intended for Butch Johnson. We got a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I tell you, that Butch Johnson is having a year. He knew he was going to be cleaned on that play, and he still almost hung on to the football.
It'll be holding against Dallas. See if he can pick it up here.
Watch this. White again has got the maneuverability. He steps to the side. There's a good rush right there by Pollard. He steps in the pocket. There's Butch Johnson coming across. He knows there's a guy coming from him the other way right there, but Butch doesn't worry about it. Tries to catch the football. Good play by Steve Niels, number 53. He's made quite a few today.
It'll be a 10-yard walk-off against the Cowboys for the holding penalty, which will move Dallas back into their end of the field.
Well, I tell you, I believe, I might be wrong, I think that's the first holding penalty of the day.
Holding, number 71 on the offense. Still first down.
This has been a remarkably penalty-free game. I think that's only the 5th penalty in the entire game. 1st and 20 for the Cowboys back in their own 45. Cowboys lead the NFL in scoring. I should say the NFC. 228 points on the year. Dorsett up to midfield for a pickup of 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15. Bob Pollard, number 82, one of the defensive leaders on the Cardinal front four, making the stop. One-time New Orleans Saint who was obtained in the Conrad Dobler trade a couple of years ago.
Now St. Louis now is bringing in a new crew. Now that's their passing defensive team. They've got Mays coming in. They bring in an extra linebacker, Calvin Favron, so they're expecting the pass, and rightfully so.
Meanwhile, the clock rolls on. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the game. Dallas trailing by 4. They need a touchdown. Danny White, the Dorsett at the 50. Down to the 48-yard line.
They didn't pick up much there. That St. Louis defense is swarming. Calvin Favreau, number 59, who just came in the game, and there was a great pass rush that time. Greer was in there, and Danny got rid of the ball out to Dorsett. Dorsett was an outlet receiver that time, and Favreau made the play, and it was for little gain.
Listen to this crowd come alive now. This big 3rd down play. 3rd and 13. Crowd exhorting the defense of the Cardinals to hold them. Cowboys have not done well on 3rd down today. They're better than 50% of the year. Lead to lead coming into this game. Danny White trying to pick up the first. Another flag is down. The pass incomplete, intended for Tony Hill. We get a holding against Dallas. So it would have been for naught. Anyway.
Well, number 59, Calvin Favreau, again, has a chance for the interception. The ball goes, well, we got Drew Pearson isolated right here, but the ball's over the middle. There's Favreau at the, well, that's Roy Green. Favreau is over here, and the one that tips the ball, Tony Hill almost catches it. But there was a holding penalty, and I would think St. Louis would decline it.
Well, they're talking about the options right now. They can move the Cowboys back another 10, but give them another shot at 3rd down, or they can force them into the punting situation, and that's what they've done.
No, you don't want to give them another shot at it.
On the offense. Penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
So again, the Cowboys have to punt, and now the clock is down to 3:18.
Well, this is where a team has to be on the alert for someone like Danny White back there in punt formation. But again, with the timeouts left, that Dallas can hold St. Louis back there. The right move is to punt. But I'm sure there's a lot of guys watching Danny White on that Cardinal defensive line.
After what he did against San Diego last week, they should.
He booms one. He booms it.
Angling it for the near side coffin corner and out of bounds somewhere around the 10 or 15-yard line.
I'd say it's up around 15.
They will line it up at the, looks like the 21. Tonight, a CBS News special report anchored by Dan Rather. This special report will focus on today's developments in which Iran agreed to the release of the hostages if Khomeini's 4 conditions are met. That's tonight. The CBS News special report. Cardinals back in business at their own 21. You think they'll stay on the ground?
I would throw a quick screen out to Gray because I tell you, Dallas is going to blitz their linebackers. They've got to stop the run on first down. I'd throw it out to Gray and hope for the best.
Wayne Morris into the right side, shoved back. First throwing pass out in the flat here after they lost the other one, and Thurman ran it back. I think it'd be a little risky at this point.
Well, a quick screen's not very risky. You can't get that intercepted. It's just that on that first down, that's a big first down play. You've got to stop St. Louis on first down. You don't want to get them a first down in this series, then you have to use your timeouts to stop them the next time. So if you can control them here, you got the 2-minute warning. You might not have to use a timeout, so Dallas would have plenty of time to do something with the football.
Morris picked up 2. It is 2nd and 8. Cardinals at their 23. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Anderson trying to get outside, looking for some place to go, slides across the 25 to the 26-yard line, which will set up a 3rd and 5.
Dallas is doing a much better job not letting Anderson outside. They're stringing it down the line. D.D. Lewis was out there and forced Anderson back inside where that pursuit will stop him.
Tom Landry gathering his forces on the sidelines as the 2-minute warning will come up in all probability very shortly. Of course, the clock is stopped right now. Dallas has used the first of its timeouts to stop it with 2 minutes and 19 seconds.
Well, that's a good move, Frank. There's 2:19 to go. You use that timeout now, and then you'll get the timeout at the 2-minute period. So if you stop them here, you also get the 2-minute period timeout, and you really have 3 timeouts left.
Well, the Cowboys will be down to their last couple of timeouts when we get to the 2-minute warning. Jim Hannafin talking things over with his quarterback, Jim Hart. Hannafin was the offensive line coach of the Cardinals back in the glory years when, for 2 years, they beat the Cowboys out of the division championship in 74-75. Looking way back in the series, must have been what, your rookie year, second year, when the Cardinals beat the Cowboys 38-0. Last time the Cowboys were shut out in that Monday night game.
That was in 70, and of course Dallas after that won 5 or 6 in a row. The defense, I think, won 4 games without allowing a touchdown and went on into the playoffs, the Super Bowl that year, and lost to Baltimore in the Super Bowl. But that Cardinal game was probably the bottom during the 70s for Dallas, losing 38-0. After that, it was
upward and onward.
Yeah.
What were you then? Second year? Couldn't have been.
Second year.
Yeah.
There's a big 5 yards. Here's 5 yards that Jim Hannafin would love to beg, bar, or steal any way he can. It's a tough 5 yards.
3rd and 5.
A lot of strategy here. What do you do? I'd throw the ball.
You always say that. Anderson got 3 of the 5. It'll be 4th and 2.
Well, that's a big defensive play right there. That's an excellent deep play. Looks like Randy Weiss getting off the bottom there. Tony Dickerson's getting off. They have Larry Cole. They had their pass defense in there. They were expecting the pass, and St. Louis tried to pop it through, and Dallas held.
2-minute warning. Dallas will have 2 timeouts left. The Cardinals have all 3 of their timeouts left. As again, the captains head to the sidelines. St. Louis will have a 4th and 2 from their own 29-yard line. No one is left here. Not at all. Capacity crowd of 55,000 on hand. Our executive producer for NFL football, Charles H. Milton III. Bob Rowe, our producer today in St. Louis. And our director, Jim Silman. And a lot of the other fine, what is a deucer? I've never heard of one of those things. A lot of the other fine people who've helped us bring this exciting telecast to you. Been the best game Roger and I have worked this year. Easy.
It really is a good one. I'm nervous.
Yeah, it's 2-minute warning time, and you should be down in the field. That's why you're nervous.
No, this is any time a game gets to this point, it's It's exciting. There's a lot of plays that led up to
This is when you loved it, right? This is when you loved it.
Well, as long as we won. Look at the view of these 2 minutes.
Well, going into the 2 minutes, you didn't know if you were going to win or not.
Dallas is well schooled in the 2 minutes, as is most teams. Most teams realize that the 2 minutes before the half or at the end of the game can mean the difference, and so you got a different philosophy in the 2 minute period.
Wonder whose side he's on. You see all kinds of strange people. All right, Swider in to do the punting. Let's see what kind of rush the Cowboys put on here if they peel back for
they won't rush
the return here. They're going back for the return. James Jones waiting for this one to come down out of orbit at the 25, 30, upended at the 31-yard line. Guess who?
I'd say that guy is unbelievable. That Randy Love, number 40, ought to get a game ball today. That guy is all over the place.
Randy Love.
I haven't seen a guy stand out on the specialty teams like that in a long time. He's the one who recovered the fumble. He's made 4 or 5 key hits. And those Cardinal players know it, too.
Dallas 69 yards away from winning this football game. You see the time left. The Cowboys have 2 timeouts to work with. Danny White really getting his first test at trying to bring the Cowboys from behind in the 2-minute period.
They're doubling the wide receivers, so that leaves Butch Johnson here man-to-man on Carl Ellen. And they're going to screen it.
Preston Pearson out across the 40 to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 15 and a first down.
That's a good play. They're going to have 2 plays. Dallas will call 2 plays in the huddle, get up there, and run the second one.
I should really say this is White's first test in the 2-minute period. He certainly had one in Philadelphia and almost pulled that one out. Good protection for White. Drew Pearson at the Cardinal 40 down to the 33-yard line. First down in 2 plays. And the Cowboys call time with 1:18 to go.
That's not bad. That's Drew's big play. He's deep over the middle. That's one of the favorites. They got the tight end coming across. Drew Pearson's taking a deep. In this case, it's Butch Johnson coming across field, and Drew's coming in behind him. And, of course, they're playing off, and Danny puts the ball right there. Stone makes the tackle.
Time is out. Cowboys have a first down at the Cardinal 33-yard line. Now, keep in mind, they will have just 1 timeout left.
Well,
other scores around the National Football League as you see Tom Landry conferring with Danny White. Second period, Minnesota 2 touchdowns up on the Redskins. Rams are pouring it on in the second quarter. New Orleans going for 0-9. Seattle 2 field goals from Efren Herrera in the second period. Houston leading Denver by 1 as Earl Campbell has just scored on a short plunge. Also in the second period, as is this game. Oakland, one of the surprise teams of the year, leading Miami 16-3. New England pouring it on the Jets also in the second period, 24-0. And Atlanta beat Buffalo. That's a final score to maintain a tie for first place in the NFC West. And Pittsburgh had to rally to beat Green Bay 22-20. Tampa Bay all the way over the Giants 30-13, and Detroit beat San Francisco 17-13. Finally, Baltimore over Kansas City, San Diego over Cincinnati. We're back in business. First down, Cowboys at the Cardinal 33. Shotgun. 1 timeout left. White gets rid of the ball. Great catch. He couldn't hold it. I thought that Pearson came down with it, but he lost the ball as he came down.
I thought it was too high, and Drew got up there, got a hand on, almost made the catch.
That looked like it had interception written all over it.
Well, it was high. It could have been. If Drew hadn't got up there, there was a defender behind Drew. But Danny steps to the side of the rush again, drills it in there. The ball's, Ken Stone back there waiting for it. Drew gets up and almost puts it back in his gut, and not quite.
2nd and 10. Dallas from the Cardinal 33. Tony Hill wide to the left side. Drew Pearson wide to the right. Billy Joe Dupree in the slot off to the right at the bottom of your screen. White. There it is. Dropped by James Jones, the rookie, and we get a flag. Incompleted forward pass. Well, there you got a rookie in a situation with less than 2 minutes to go. Penalties against Dallas.
Well, he tried to run before he got the football. But this is it's interesting right here. It's 3rd and 10, of course. Probably take the penalty, get him back there.
Well, it'll be 3rd and 10 if they don't take the penalty.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they give the Cowboys another down. But I guess this close to the goal line, they have to shove them back, and they do.
They're going to give them another down and try to keep them inside the 20 yards at least.
On the offense. Still 2nd down.
Tom Rafferty picks up the holding call. Anderson, by the way, rushed for 89 yards this afternoon. So apparently he will not cross that 100-yard mark unless the Cardinals get the ball back. Now it is 2nd down, 20. Cowboys at the Cardinal 43.
They got Carl Allen's man-to-man and Butch Johnson, so it's St. Louis has got a mix-up in their secondary right now.
Let's see if the Cowboys can take advantage of it.
Here they come.
Being rushed. Diving catch made by Pearson at the 28. Not enough for the 1st down. Let's see if he got out of bounds. I believe he did. Stop the clock with 59 seconds to go.
What a play here by Drew Pearson. It's a good rush by St. Louis, and Danny sees the pressure on his right side. Danny White, which is Bob Pollard. He steps off to the left and throws the ball. It's low. Drew makes a good, excellent catch right there. That ball isn't far off the ground. He gets his hands under it, and he just made a great play right there.
3rd down. The Cowboys still need 5 for the 1st down.
Plus he got out of bounds. They did get they stopped the clock, so there's plenty of time.
They need the 1st down now. They got to be concerned with that. 3rd and 5 from the 28. White lets it go. Oh! Pearson had 1 shot at it, almost had 2.
I'll tell you, that Drew Pearson is he's too much. That ball was thrown like a rocket over there, and he almost caught it. It would have been a nice catch, and then he still realized what had happened and tried to make a leap for it at the end, because that kind of ball could either be intercepted or caught again.
This could be the ball game right here. 4th down and 5. Cowboys at the Cardinal 28. They have to get at least the 1st down to keep this drive going. They've got 1 timeout left. They need a touchdown. They trail 24-20.
This is where that pass rush, those guys got to put the pressure. He's got good protection.
Tony Hill, touchdown, Tony Hill.
What a play by Tony Hill.
And it's the Cowboys' turn to celebrate.
Tony Hill's got a man on him right there. Look at Danny White. He just steps, fires it up there, lets it go deep. There's 2 men right back there. It's good defense. Cardinals gave it everything on this play. Those guys are coming in there, but Danny steps to his left a little bit, lets it go to the corner. Tony breaks. He's got a man right behind him, though. It's good defense. It's just again, same type of play that Pat Tilley made. Tony Hill out-jumped him and caught the football.
So now it's 26-24. Extra point try to come. Cardinals will have 45 seconds and all 3 of their timeouts. Kick is good. Dallas by 3 as the Cowboys strike with 45 seconds to go. Last year, you'll recall, Septien won the ball game with a field goal that caromed off the left upright. The year before in St. Louis, the Cowboys went into overtime and won the game. The Cardinals haven't beaten the Cowboys in St. Louis since 1976.
That Cardinal team's walking off the field with their heads down, but they shouldn't have their heads down. They've fought like crazy, and it's the difference in some big plays. They've made some big plays, and of course, that time Tony Hill made the big one for Dallas, and the pass protection was good. Danny got him the ball to the corner. But that Cardinal team shouldn't be having their heads down right now. They're just they're frustrated. They've lost some tough ones this year, and there was no tougher play than that one. 4th and 5, and all the money on the line, and that number 11 right there threw it out, and number 80 made the play.
Well, he took the 2-minute period and gave him some change back, didn't he?
Oh, he did.
Pointing things out to Butch Johnson. Ironic note, Ken Stone, who was victimized on that touchdown pass, he was covering Tony Hill, was playing for the Redskins back in 1975 when Clint Longley hit the long touchdown to Drew Pearson. So Stone has been burned twice late in a game by the Cowboys. Of course, it's still not over. Septien ready to kick off. Clock does not start till someone touches the ball. That's Stone, who picked up the football, carries it back to the 35. That ran 4 seconds off the clock, so we're down to 41 seconds. But again, the Cardinals have all 3 of their timeouts left. If they can get into field goal range, they could still tie this game and send it into sudden death. That just about tells you everything. First and 10. St. Louis with the football at the Cardinal 35-yard line. Otis Brown is in the backfield. Jim Hart back to throw it. Sideline toss to Doug Marsh, the tight end. Fumbles it. Picked up by Mill Gray. It was ruled down at the 40-yard line, so Gray can stop running and bring it back. The officials ruled that Marsh was tackled before he fumbled the football at the 41. Dennis Thurman with a word for Gray, who beat him earlier in the ball game for a touchdown. That ran off 11 very important seconds.
Well, there's been some big plays here today. This is a pass to Marsh now. He catches the ball about 10 or 12 yards down the field, and he's hammered right there. And the ball's that was a bad call by the official. That was a fumble right there.
That was a fumble.
That was definitely a fumble. That was definitely a fumble right there.
Let's take one more look at it, because that's an immense break for the Dallas Cowboys right there.
Well, the official that called it must have been behind Marsh and didn't see it, but someone could have seen the ball popped out of his stomach before he hit the ground. Here it is right here. Aaron Mitchell's over there, number 34, and then he's hit by Steve Wilson. That ball pops out before that right knee hits the ground.
Now, could he have ruled incompleted pass, perhaps? You think that's a possibility?
Well, he didn't. He's given him the
yardage.
Yardage.
Yeah. They're bringing it back to the 41 where he was tackled. So the ruling is that the pass was complete, that he was down at the point where he was hit. And the replay shows you otherwise. Well, you win some and you lose some.
Well, that would have been a circumstance there. Gray picks it up, and he should have been able to pick it up. That was a fumble, and I don't know. The whistle blew, and everybody stopped chasing him, but he would have been down here and a long ways down in Dallas territory.
30 seconds left in the game. Second down, 5. Sideline throw to Theodis Brown at the 45, 50. Theodis Brown down to the 41. The Cardinals aren't through yet. Timeout.
You know, Frank, in the last 2 minutes of a game, though, and I'm not sure of the rule book now, but if a receiver fumbles the football, he has got to pick it up again. Now,
but is that near midfield, or is that inside the 20-yard line?
I think it's in the 2-minute period, so you can't just shovel the ball. But I might be wrong about that. There's a nice play right there, and it's the Cardinals have got 20 seconds to go. They've got a timeout left. If they hit any deep play over the middle, they've got enough time to hit a deep play. They don't have to get the ball out of bounds, because they're within 3 points, of course, of tying the football game.
Now, you're right on that ruling. We just got official word on it. Only the player who has the ball and makes the fumble can pick up that fumble and go. That's a rule that applies only to the last 2 minutes of the game. If anybody else picks up that fumble, it's no go, as it was. So the officials did call it right, and that was predicated originally by the Oakland situation a couple years ago.
That's exactly right.
Remember Dave Casper picking up that fumble, and the Raiders had kicked it for about 25 yards?
Yeah, that's when they changed the rules, so the officials, again, were one step ahead of us. Well, not always one step.
They don't miss many, I'll tell you that. Ball is at the 40-yard line of the Cowboys. Cardinals have a 1st and 10, 20 seconds to go. They have one timeout left. So they'll have to be very careful here if they want to save the timeout for a possible field goal try. You'd look for a sideline throw almost assuredly, I would think. Hart is buried by Harvey Martin.
Big play by Harvey.
Harvey Martin comes up with could be the big defensive play of the game.
Well, they had a chance, St. Louis. Harvey's crashing through right there. Hart is ready to throw it. He pulls back, and he sees Harvey, and it's too late.
Clock is moving.
They didn't call timeout, so they still have a timeout left.
They're trying to complete one pass and get in range for a field goal. Pass is incomplete. That stops it with 9 seconds left to play. He hurried that so much, I think he was just trying to stop the clock, because you got to figure with 9 seconds to go, they have 2 downs left, and certainly they can't get more than 2 plays off. So this time, Hart has got to go for enough distance to get within O'Donoghue's field goal range. I'm getting a little limp. This has been exciting. Typical Cowboy Cardinal game. Same 2 teams 2 weeks from now in Dallas. Third down, 18 needed for the first down. The Cardinals are at the 48 of Dallas. Again, the big pass rush. Hart running for his life. Larry Cole in pursuit and sacks him. Back at the 43-yard line.
He had everybody on the left side over here going downfield, nobody on the right side, so there was...
Time has run out.
There was no hope scrambling over there, and...
Time has run out, and the Cowboys have beaten the Cardinals once again in another thriller. 27-24. Tough luck for Jim Hannafin.
That's
who's
Jim
had a tough
Hannafin.
year.
The Cardinals have played their guts out today, and Dallas has played hard. It's been a solid defensive game against the run, but the passing game with the big plays were hit strictly through the passing game. Both defenses pretty well controlled the run all day.
And the Cardinals did an exceptional job on the Cowboys running game. Some big plays again. A big turnover played a part as Dennis Thurman returned the interception for 77 yards. And then, of course, Danny White going for the touchdown instead of the first down on that fourth down play.
Well, they went for it, and they felt, I'm sure they saw something. And Tony Hill, of course, it was good defense. The coverage was there, and Tony Hill, with his size, jumped up, and the ball was into his chest, and he was into the end zone. So it was a big play on Tony Hill and Danny White.
Well, you can't top this one for exciting. There's our final score. The Cowboys over the Cardinals, 27-24. Till next time, Frank Glieber along with Roger Staubach saying so long from St. Louis.